Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is story about what if Naruto leaves Rias Peerage part 1. Before I start, please do support for more amazing content and comments for part 2. Do consider to subscribe my channel and share my video to your friends and check out the description as well. Let's start the video. Apartment. It's been a shitty week, Databale. You're telling me, Databana? Two individuals were sitting in the dark at a table in the dining room. Both had sun-kissed blonde hair, ocean blue eyes, light tan skin, and whisker marks on their cheeks. The only difference is their height and hairstyles, where one was 5 feet 9 inches tall and had spiky hair, and the other was 5 feet 7 inches tall and had her hair styled in high pigtails. They are Naruto Uzumaki and Naruto Uzumaki. They just got back from a farce of an engagement party in Makai. While it was indeed eventful, it was now in the back of their minds. No, scratch that, Naru and I. It's been a shitty couple of months, Naruto snapped, slamming her fist on the bare table. And back then we thought it couldn't get any worse, Naruto added, pretending to trace something on the table hedge. Boy, we were wrong. I'm surprised how calm you are, Naru and I, Naruto growled, looking sour. That jackass pervert pretty much took your place in Rias and Akino's hearts. Naruto's fist clenched as he was reminded of that painful memory. Leaving yourself out of the equation much, Emoto? You were in love with Rias and Akino as much as I was. The twins fiercely glared at each other, before reverting to stained smiles and twitching eyes. Before another word was spoken, a silver seal bearing the seal of Gremory Seal appeared near the window. Through the seal came a beautiful woman the twins were all too familiar with. She was 5'8" head long, flowing silver hair tied in a 2 short braid in the front, and 1 long braid in the back. Her silver eyes seemed to glow dimly in the shadows alongside her fair skin, her red rouge standing out the most in the dim lighting, aside from the silhouette of her perfect hourglass figure. She was wearing a blue and white French outfit with long sleeves and a white maid headband over her head. Am I interrupting? She asked coyly, recognizing another sibling squabble between the two. No, Graphius-san, Naruto replied flatly, getting up and heading to the fridge. Just lamenting on everything that's happened recently. From the fallen angels to Riser's rape boner for Rias. Graphius sighed, putting a hand on her head. Must you use vulgar language in front of me like you do to Riser? What are you talking about? Naruto asked, tilting her head. He didn't say ass, shit, damn, fuck. Fine. Fine, I take it back. Graphia relented, raising her hands. Then Alana-sama asked me to check up on you too, and to deliver this. With a snap of her fingers, 2 briefcases appeared in both of her hands. She strode over to the table at the same time Naruto came back with drinks. She set the briefcase down in front of the twins, and accepted her drink from Naruto. Thank you, Graphia said and sipped it, noting that Naruto gave her sparkling grape juice. She instructed me to hand these to you. Ajuka has finished inspected them, so they're safe to use. Naruto nodded and opened the briefcase, with Naruto doing the same to her own. Both contained the same items, 25 dark crimson chess pieces. Wait a minute, 25? Why are there 8 extra pieces? There's even an additional pawn piece here. We're not going to waste the others, Naruto commented, and took out one of her extra pieces. She shook it and bit into it. Nom nom nom. Please refrain from that, Naruto. Those are imbued with the essence of your ancestor Sparta. Graphia scolded pigtailed blonde, tugging the piece away from her mouth. Please treat them with respect. As for the extra 8 pieces, those are fairy pieces. The legendary fairy pieces, only given to a handful of trustworthy devils. Neat! Naruto cheered, raising an inverted bishop that was encased in a glass sphere like the others. So these are the legendary Sparta pieces, eh? Makes sense that a devil like Sparta would have fairy pieces in his arsenal. Naruto mused, examining the king piece. So this is the gift that Dante and Virgil refused. Dante didn't want to get involved in the affairs of Makai, and Virgil was a loner. They look and feel different from regular pieces. He put a hand to his chest, where his knight piece was located. He sensed the Sparta piece emanating a fearsome aura, which made the piece inside him pale in comparison. I know that you've both made your decisions, but I must ask again, Graphia said, setting her drink down on the table. Are you sure you two want to go through with this? Graphia, Naruto started, looking at her with a blank expression. This decision wasn't easy for the both of us. If you would have asked us if we would have left her so prematurely like this, we would have laughed in your face while spiking your drink with laxatives. Just ask Surzex, Databeo. A strange smile appeared on Graphia's smile as a tick mark appeared on her head. As much as she would like to trap Naruto in an ice cube, she relented. He and his sister were uncontrollable, and any attempt at punishing them would result in retaliation. The only one who's able to fully discipline the twins without risk is Venelana. Even Rias had her difficulties controlling the twins to a degree. Anyways, we are leaving Rias Peerage. After everything that happened and being forgotten like yesterday's news for a pervert with a constant hard-on for and anything in a skirt, can you really blame us? Naruto sighed. She downed her drink and slammed down her mug. He shouldn't have been killed by rain air to begin with. Stray fallen angels were running amok in Ko and she. Naruto, chill! Naruto snapped, cutting her off. We don't need you to go on another rampage. HMP, fine. Naruto snipped and crossed her arms in a pout. Sorry, geez. So where will you live? Grafia inquired, looking around the open space that connected the living room and dining room. You did take a liking to this place due to it being close to the school. We recently bought a new place to live within the territory just last week with our funds from our jobs. Naruto replied after finishing his own drink. It's a 3,600 square foot old Japanese-style mansion. 9 bedrooms, plus common areas. It's more than enough space for us to live comfortably. And to manage our peerages. Naruto added, standing up, and I know you're about to ask how we'll maintain the grounds. Don't worry, we already have that covered. She said before grinning, we have it covered in a way that would make Hinata green with envy. As a bonus, Rias and the others don't know about our guests. Then again, I don't think some of them will take it that well. Naruto said, closing his briefcase. No matter. We plan on telling them eventually. Grafia looked interested. Might I be in on this secret? Asked Venelano Keisan. Naruto said, smirking, she's the only one who knows and allows it. Indeed I shall, Grafia said, watching as Naruto and Naruto stood together, holding the Sparta King pieces. Rias-sama and her queen will be saddened by this, but it's understandable why you're doing this. The twins nodded in confirmation. With sadness in their eyes, they held out her hand and focused their power within themselves. A red aura outlined their bodies, and 2 pieces exited out of them. A red knight piece exited Naruto's body, and Naruto's red rook soon did the same for hers. They glowed as they landed in their empty palms, with their auras disappearing. As the red pieces' glow faded, both twins gazed at their king Sparta pieces before bringing it to their chests. Grafia watched as the pieces glowed and sank into the twins' bodies. Crimson sparks arced off their bodies, concerning the silver maid. They saw their faces grimace before they are enveloped in a crimson light. A burst of energy pulsed throughout the apartment, causing Grafia to stumble back. The walls began to crack from the pressure. Naruto! Naruto! Grafia called out as their auras flared dangerously. Just as Grafia gathered her magic to try and reverse the increasingly dangerous situation, she saw the auras turning into gentle pulses. The auras quickly died down, and the crimson light faded into the twins. Their appearances remained the same, but they were both breathing heavily. Well, huff, that was something. Naruto said, flexing her hand. I expected it to hurt, but it was more shocking. Naruto groaned in agreement. Since the pieces accepted us, we really do have the blood of Sparta. In addition to the other bloodlines that would give sacred gear like the boosted gear and divine dividing a run for it money, Naruto added with a grimace, at least we don't be walking with a stupid swagger over a badass dragon gauntlets that's wasted on him. 2 words, dress. Break. Don't remind me. Naruto grumbled, closing one eye. Though to be fair, it could be effective on armor. Grafia coughed, getting their attention. In any case, I am glad to see you both unharmed. As of right now, you are both kings. You have a higher responsibility now, not just as the adopted children of the House of Gremory, but as the descendants of the legendary Dark Knight Sparta. And we'll face it head on. We'll do both names proud. Naruto proudly proclaimed as Naruto nodded in agreement. You and Venelano Keisan can believe that. Ko Academy, a few days later. Waya. I don't want you to go, wailed a small, petite girl that latched herself to Naruto's waist. Please stay. The outside world's so scary without you. Wait, you mean Rias never? Naruto started to say before groaning. Ugh. Naruto and Naruto were in the basement of the occult research. With them were the 3 peerage members they were close to. Kibayuto, Naruto's, now former, fellow, knight, stood at 5 feet 8 inches tall. His short, blonde hair almost covered his bluish-gray eyes, which had a beauty mark under his left one. Add that on top of his perfect light skin, he was known as Ko Academy's school prince due to his handsome looks. His looks was further complemented by his Ko Academy boys' uniform, which consisted of a black blazer with white accents over a white, long-sleeved dress shirt. A black ribbon poked out underneath his collar, which went well with his matching black pants and brown dress shoes. Next to him was Shiron Tuju, nicknamed Kaneko, a Nikomata who was Naruto's, now former, fellow, rook. A 4 feet 6 inches petite girl with short, white hair with a black cat-shaped hair clip above her bangs. Her yellow eyes blinked as she scratched her fair-skinned neck. She usually wore the Academy girl's uniform without the shoulder cape. Aside from that, her female schoolgirl uniform consisted of a white, long-sleeved button-down shirt, a black button-down corset, a magenta skirt with white accents, finished by brown dress shoe with black socks. Gasper Vladi, Rias's first bishop, and the peerage's resident Dio Brando, was the one currently hanging off of Naruto's waist. The young, shy damper had pinkish-violet eyes and pointed ears, which was somewhat hidden underneath her platinum blonde hair. She's 4 feet 11 inches tall, and wore the Academy girl's uniform with knee-high socks. Naruto and Naruto were visiting Gasper, bumping into Kiba and Kaneko in the same room. Just like the time they sensed that the twins had become high-class devils, they also sensed that they now had king pieces in them, and that the twins were no longer a part of Rias Peerage. Naruto groaned. Gasper-chan, when was the last time Rias came to help you with your powers? A week ago, Gasper mumbled into Naruto's shirt. God damn it. Naruto sighed, rubbing the back of his head. I'll give her one last reminder before we go. Just know that this isn't goodbye, guys. Naruto informed their 3 friends. We'll be around. We just need some time away. It's understandable. Take all the time you need, Naruto-senpai, Naruto-senpai, Kiba said with a determined look. We'll hold down the fort, so you won't need to worry about us. You sure about that, Kiba-kun? Naruto drawled with a grimace. I still worry when any holy swords come into play during our skirmishes with stray church members, and you decided to go lone wolf on us. Hey! Like I said, I won't do that if they appear, Kiba protested, sweating and looking flustered. You have my word on that, senpai. Excellent. Consider that one last lesson from your twin senpai. We're confident that you'll keep your revenge in check, but Naruto's eyes turned red as he locked eyes with his fellow swordsman, a Kitsune Hanya mask appearing next to him. If you go lone wolf with the holy swords, and Rias-chan and Akino-chan gets hurt because of it, you're gonna be fucked. Terrified, Kiba nodded his head rapidly like a bobblehead. Yes, Naruto-senpai. Good. Naruto smiled, and turned his attention to Kaneko. And now we come to you, Shiron-chan. I don't want, she started, before Naruto popped a piece of chocolate into her mouth. As the chocolate melted into her mouth, her cat ears and tail popped up. A warm, pink aura surrounded her as she ate the chocolate. Mim. We know you're scared of your Nikomata abilities, but you can't afford to run away from them like Akino does with her own fallen angel abilities. Hate to say it, but they would have been more useful than the brat's dress break, Naruto said, caressing Kaneko's face, causing her to purr. We would have stood a better chance, but that's besides the point. None of us will get anywhere in life if our past holds us back. We're going, and it means that your time to shine, Naruto added, looking from Kaneko to Kiba to Gasper and back to Kaneko, so all of you, stop holding back. Are we clear? I'll try, Naruto-senpai, Kaneko said timidly, and squeaked when Naruto grabbed her cat ears. Good kitty, Naruto cooed, rubbing behind her cat ears. Please come back soon, Gasper whined, looking up at Naruto. I don't want to miss you. And you won't, Databeo, Naruto replied, smiling. Also, take care of the new girl Asia. After saying their goodbyes, Naruto and Naruto headed upstairs. They had previously contracted Rias and Akino to meet with them. It was just to go out to the town, nothing more, nothing less. The two had agreed, noting that it's been some time since the 4 of them hung out together. 1 hour later, the sun started to set, and Rias and Akino still haven't arrived. That's weird, Naruto noted, checking her watch after exiting the building. Rias-chan and Akino-chan should have been out here by now. Rias-chan may still be dealing with paperwork, Naruto guessed, frowning as he stared at the building. I'm sensing that they're still in there. Jerking his head towards the building, Naruto and Naruto re-entered the building and went upstairs. They stopped in front of the large, ornate double doors, noticing that they were cracked open. Lewd sounds emanated past the door, causing a feeling of dread in the twins, especially Naruto. Steeling themselves, they peered through the crack in the door. They saw their king and queen, Rias and Akino, servicing their pawn, Issei Hayato, by sucking at his fingers. They, of course, understood the reason why, as they had to extract the excess magic from him so that his arm can remain human. But the fact that Rias and Akino looked like they were enjoying themselves was like a stab in their hearts. Upon eyeing Issei's look of arousal and hearing his perverted giggling, Naruto was seething. She stormed away, leaving an upset Naruto, who looked down on the ground and rubbed his eyes. Looks like we're taking a rain check on that outing, he mused before quietly closing the door, his last sight being Rias and Akino smothering Issei with affection. He followed Naruto's energy signature to the main entrance outside. Looking around, he found her sitting at the trunk of a nearby tree, looking up at the window where Rias would look over the school and its grounds. Above her head is an indent of a footprint in the tree. Rias-chan. Akino-chan. They didn't even notice us. Naruto sniffed, wiping her eyes. And we weren't even hiding our energy. Naruto shrugged. Yeah, true. But to be fair, the brat didn't notice us either. Then again, who can blame him? He has the attention of the two great ladies of Ko Academy. Guess he has more chemistry with them than we do. You don't have to hide it, Nara and I. You're just as pissed as I am, Naruto said, looking sour. I am, Naruto replied, narrowing his now red eyes, but they made their choice, just as we made ours. So enough is enough. It's time to leave. Naruto nodded and hopped up from the tree. Walking side by side, they left the school grounds. Hey, Nara and I. Yeah? You know this, but just because I'm also in love with Rias-chan and Akino-chan, doesn't mean I'm not in love with you too. Really? I would have never guessed, because the feeling's mutual. Well, at least we still have each other. You are not getting into my pants that easily. Hinata residence. The beautiful Rias Gremry entered her new room in the Hinata residence. 5 feet 8 inches, long, crimson hair, blue-green eyes, fair skin, and a buxom figure, she was every man's wet dream, especially in her current semi-transparent nightgown, which didn't do much to conceal her bare and her red panties. After the engagement party and the failed wedding, she decided to move in with her pawn, Issei, his family, and her bishop, Asia, who was also staying with the latter. She was still reveling in her newfound freedom from the engagement with Riser. She hated the fact that her fate to marry someone was decided without her input, especially when she was just a child. Besides, she was never interested in Riser. He was arrogant, annoying, and constantly flaunting his wealth, status, and harem in the form of his peerage. He was never like that when they were children, as she got along with his very well. But as they got older, the power of the House of Phoenix got to his head, causing his friendship with Naruto to end. The two held a mutual dislike for one another ever since Riser became a smug asshole. Riser continually mocked Naruto for being a low-class devil, and he will be marrying his crush and surrogate sister Rias. In response, Naruto made fun of Riser on more than one occasion, antagonizing and mocking him for being a one-trick pony, and repeatedly calling him fried chicken. Rias giggled at the memory of Naruto verbally taking Riser in a brutal fashion, mocking him for his all-female peerage only being in purely for looks, and making Riser out to be a bully for taking on another peerage with no rating game experience, unlike him. Naruto, she murmured to herself. She reached into a box full of unpacked things and pulled out a picture. It was a picture of herself, Akino, Naruto, and 2 of their childhood friends, both wearing pigtails like Naruto. Wait. Rias blinked olishly. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh. Hey Rias-chan. You think me, you, Naruto, and Akino-chan can go out into the town? It's been a while since we did so. Oh. Of course. Just let me finish this paperwork. Then I'll go get Akino, and then we can go. 1 hour tops, I promise. It's a date then. Rias giggled at that. Absolutely. Oh damn it, Naruto and Naruto. That's right. Rias shrieked, a horrified expression on her face. Oh by the 4 Satans, how could I forget about them? Forget about what? A voice asked from the doorway. Rias turned to see her bishop, Asia Argento. She was a pretty young Italian girl with long, blonde hair, green eyes, fair skin, and a medium-sized bust. She was wearing a pair of modest, pink pajamas. It's nothing, Rias replied as she grabbed her phone. She dialed Naruto's number and waited for him to answer, but no one answered. What? Frustrated, she dialed Naruto's number, but got the same result. Why? They always answer me. What's wrong, Bucho? Asia asked, concerned about the frantic look on her king's face. Are Naruto-senpai and Naruto-senpai all right? I hope so, Rias said as a magic circle appeared beneath her feet, the phone still in her ear. I'm going to go check on them. She disappeared, just as Issei arrived. What was that? Asia, where did Bucho go? He asked, with Asia looking troubled. I don't know. She said something about checking on Naruto-senpai and Naruko-senpai. Naruto and Naruko's old apartment. Rias materialized in the apartment. She looked around, only to find it barren, much to her shock. The rooms were Spartan, not a speck of dust in sight. The tables were void of the items the twins set on them, and the beds were bare. The kitchen was empty, with all the cabinets cleared out, the dishes done, and the fridge squeaky clean. What the hell is going on? Rias asked in panic as a magic circle appeared next to her, revealing her. Queen, why is their apartment empty? I'm here, Rias. What happened to Naruto and Naru? Akino started to say, looking around the apartment to find it void of anything. What is this? I don't know, Rias responded as they walked through the apartment. But I'm worried, especially after forgetting about going out with them today. Going out with Akino gasped in shock. That's right. You told me about that. I agreed at first, but we got sidetracked from extracting the dragon's magic from Issei. Rias said as they entered the bedroom. After the extraction, we kept toying with him. Well, mostly you. I couldn't help it. It's so much fun teasing him. But Akino's expression fell. Now that I think about it, I feel that I've been spending too much time with him. Yeah, Rias said absent-mindedly, before noticing something on the bedside table. Looking closely, she gasped when she recognized her knight and rook pieces, along with a folded-up piece of paper next to it. Why are these dash? Wait, aren't those Naruto-kun and Naruko-chan's pieces? Akino questioned, looking worried as Rias picked up and read the note. You don't think someone got to them? No, Rias said, shaking her head as the bangs in her hair shadowed her eyes. Akino frowned. Bucho? We have to find them, now. Fountain Park. Oh, it's you guys again. Naruto drawled. Wow, I knew that Genra had a hard-on for us, but this is too much, man. His eyes scanned at their numbers, then chuckled. And you brought backup. Maybe this time it might be more of a fight. And having you idiots team up with a band of even more idiots in the form of the Hero Clan is just fucking priceless. Naruko added with a manic grin. Shouldn't you all be out chasing Yuma and fiends? The two blondes were passing through the park with a large fountain when they ended up being ambushed by a group of ninjas and warriors. The ninjas were from Hajimen sect of the Mugen Tenshin clan, and the warriors were from the Hero clan. By the order of Genra-sama, you monsters will die in the name of justice. The general of the Hajimen declared as his comrades unsheathed their weapons. As long as you live, the risk of our clan being discovered by the outside world increases. And you will pay for the death of our comrades. The leader of the group from the Hero clan added. Every day you both breathe is a dishonor to our fallen comrades. Naruto sighed. As usual, you dipshits continue to prove how low your IQs have fallen with each passing year. We thought the piles of dead bodies we sent back to you all this time would send a loud and clear message to leave us alone. But now. Naruko sneered. It seems that both villages will be attending joint funerals. We'll see about that. The Hajimen general snarled. Charge. Kill them, and retrieve the cursed sword. The Hero clan leader screamed. Get them. Both groups rushed at the twin blondes, who both looked unfazed. Well, Naruto mused with a deadly look in his eyes, at least I get to work out some frustration. He raised his hand and focused his power. In an instant, a sleek, silver sword materialized in his hand. It had a crescent-shaped blade, a circular hilt protected by a guard, and emanated a green and violet aura. Let's turn the night bloody, Naruto whispered. Brynhilde. At the same time, Naruko held her right hand out. A golden flame enveloped her arm, forming an oversized golden-yellow gauntlet that bore a resemblance to the boosted gear, with its jewel being purple in color. Incinerate them to ashes, Naruko screamed. Sunfire. You take the 20 on the left, and I'll take the 20 on the right, Naruto said. Less talking, more action. Because I'm looking to play. Naruko snapped back. So let's play. That's the spirit. Naruto and Naruko leapt towards the mini army of ninjas and warriors. Clashing with them, they showed neither mercy nor remorse. His enemies quickly learned the hard way that he was the master of the styles of Yagyu Shinkajiryu swordplay, Hiten Mitsurujiryu Batajutsu, and traditional Aido. For the ordinary man, learning all of the sword styles would have been considered impossible, but Naruto was considered anything but normal, especially when using the Uzumaki-style ninjutsu. Using his vast energy reserves, he abused the crap out of the Uzumaki style. Taking advantage of the Shadow Clone Jutsu benefits, he accelerated his training with the sword styles, which was how he became very closer to the title of Master Swordsman. His fellow knight, at the time, Kiba admired him for his peerage skill, and vowed to become as strong as him someday. Naruto's opponents, who were obviously low to mid-level grunts of their respective factions, were severely outclassed. And they were all thoroughly screwed, considering Naruto's strikes were as fast as a machine gun. Die, devil scum! Naruto smirked as he used Brynhildr to trace a circle in front of him. He was then sliced and stabbed with various weapons before fading away. What? Where did he go? Yelled one of the warriors. I could have swore he killed him, a ninja replied before spotting Naruto behind them. There. Naruto hefted Brynhildr over his shoulder. The first blade, residual moon from the school of Yagyu Shinkage, followed by a dragon nest flash from the school of Hiten Mitsurugi. He said, looking behind him. Combine them together, and you're already dead. Nani? One of the warriors of the hero clans exclaimed in disbelief. The next second, cuts appeared on their bodies before their wounds exploded. Within the span of a second, Naruto shook them with rapid blows to their vital areas. The sheer pain and blood loss they experienced made them crumple to the floor, dead within seconds. And you know what? Naruto mused, channeling energy into Brynhildr. You lot won't be going back at all. Spinning on his heel, he unleashed a wave of demonic energy. As soon as the wave washed over their bodies, they disappeared in a pile of ash. So, the threat of knowing the secrets of Genra and the old farts of the hero clan isn't keep them at bay. Naruto growled, biting his thumbnail. Once we gather peerages of our own, we'll deal with them directly, and in a permanent manner. He looked over at his sister, who was having the time of her life. Using her fists and gauntlet, she was breaking bones and tossing her own victims across the park. Whether it's slamming them to the ground by their limbs, or sending them flying with a vicious punch or kick, Naruto showed why she was the most powerful tank of Rias Peerage, at the time. Unlike Naruto, Naruto specializes in close-quarters hand-to-hand combat, using a mixed martial arts style that incorporates Shotokan and Sotsuken, street-style kickboxing, Mishimaryu karate, and Kazamuryu aikijujutsu. Using the same shadow clone trick that her brother used, along with the same discipline to perfect her techniques, Naruto was close to being a master martial artist, but she couldn't take that title yet. Still, it was enough for a maniac, rook, like the pigtailed blonde. If one would describe Naruto's fighting style, the main dish is brutality, with a side of turning defense into offense. Worse, as her adrenaline increases, her personality changes, switching into a crazed, axe-crazy psycho whose sadistic tendencies would have Akino hesitant to admit her into her BDSM dungeon. Not that Akino has one, mind you. Back to Naruto, she was now surrounded by broken bodies and limbs. She was giggling, swaying back and forth on her feet. Of the 20 poor souls that faced her, only 3 were unlucky enough to survive, with 2 from the Hajinmen and 1 from the hero clan trying to crawl away from her. This is all wrong. One of the ninjas shouted, you can't be as strong as your mother Kushina. You were both supposed to be weak. Oh ho? Naruto cooed, raising her gauntlet. According to who? A beam shot from the palm of her hands, wiping out the ninja and his comrade, leaving the member of the hero clan remaining. Oh God, please! He cried, trying to keep away from the advancing blonde Punisher. Have mercy! I have a family! Oh yeah, asshole? Naruto seethed as energy gathered in her palm. So did we. Naruto, enough. Naruto said, Flash stepping next to her and putting a hand on her shoulder, let him go. Let him report his failure to the higher-ups of both villages. It'll send a message that we're not messing around. Naruto growled before letting out a deep breath. As she exhaled, her facial features relaxed, and she dismissed her gauntlet. Besides, Naruto picked the survivor up by his shirt. We have some questions. And anything, the hero clan member squeaked. Who masterminded this collaborated effort between your hero clan and the Mugen Tenshin clan? Naruto asked, bringing Brynhildr to his neck. Why do both of the clans want us dead? And finally, he leaned in closer to his face. Who sold us out? I don't know. I'm just a normal grunt. The hero clan member cried out. All I heard was that someone from one of the major houses in Makai found out, and delivered the information to the hero clan council. That's it, I swear. Please don't kill me. Especially with that sword. Naruto narrowed his eyes as the hero clan member fearfully eyed Brynhildr. Huffing, he knocked him away with the hilt before dismissing his sword. Still blaming me except Sito-san, eh? No matter. I'm done trying to convince you lot. Now get out of our sight, maggot. Naruto jerked his head to the side, with the hero clan member nodding rapidly and took off. Naruto shook his head, smirked at Naruto, who blew a sour raspberry at the retreating figure. They're going to escalate their attacks at this rate, Naruto said, and side-eyed her brother. Who should we hit first? The Mugen tension. We have evidence that Genra is working with Dotek, as well as him being responsible for the Cows Brigade flooding the village when we were kids. Not to mention allowing Raiden to sneak into the village multiple times, Naruto added, clenching her fist. Raping Ayam-san and crippling Haikun years later. Once we expose them, hold on. Red-owning her Sunfire Gauntlet, she raised her palm and fired an energy beam at Naruto. Naruto casually dodged it, allowing the beam to impact his would-be attacker. They saw it was the hero clan member they spared, who charged at the twins while their guards were down. The beam blew him apart, littering the ground with his charred body and limbs. As I was saying, Naruto huffed, dismissing her gauntlet again. Once we expose Genra, he'll answer to everything, and we'll find out exactly who he's in league with in the Kai. So let's get going, Nara and I. Naruto nodded before his senses tingled, causing him to groan. But before that he pointed upwards. Naruto! Naruto! Rias called out, descending to the ground alongside Akino. Stop right there! Hey Rias. Hey Akino. Nice night, isn't it? Sorry about the mess here. Naruto drawled, his azure blue eyes trained on them as they landed. And judging by the looks on your faces, he noted the two's confused and disappointed looks. You read our little farewell note. Rias and Akino looked around the area to see piles of ashes blowing away in the wind, revealing the charred remains of human bones. Rias shivered at the scene of carnage, while Akino looked away, feeling uneasy. Naruto sighed and jerked his direction to a path. Let's take a walk. It is a bit corpse-y out here. Naruto and Naruto started walking, with Rias and Akino right behind them. After looking behind herself, Rias turned her attention back to the twins. Explain yourselves. What is the meaning of this? Basically our past coming back to haunt us, Naruto replied, jerking her thumb over to remains of the short battle behind them. Nothing but a little self-defense. That's not what I mean, and you know that. Do you really mean to abandon my peerage after everything we've just been through? Rias demanded, anger dominating her beautiful features. If you two go through with this, you'll both be branded as stray devils, and I can't protect you afterwards. We know. Naruto shrugged. Naruto, please don't do this. Akino chimed in. Think about Rias. Don't trample on her pride. We owe her our lives. Don't you remember? We remember that clearly, Akino, Naruto said uncaringly. Your point? Rias and Akino flinched when they finally noticed the lack of the affectionate Chan after their names. Why are you doing this? Do you think running away will solve anything? Rias shouted, her eyes watering. Why don't we sit down and talk about this? Please don't go. I don't want to have to hunt you both down. The twins stared at the red-headed king, with deadpan eyes. Naruto's eyes twitched, while Naruto growled in frustration, running a hand down his face. Kiba-kun noticed. Shiron-chan noticed. Sona-chan and Tsubaki-san learned about it. Hell, even Saji of all people noticed, and he's a bloody pawn. Naruto bit out, tick marks appearing on her head. How is it possible that either of you noticed by now? You're making our decision easier than we thought. What are we supposed to notice? Akino asked waspishly, angered at Naruto's wording. Naruto just shook his head. To be fair, they were a lot more involved in our decision. But to be frank, you guys barely pay attention to anything lately, so I'm sure you won't mind us taking a hike. Just don't worry your pretty little redhead about us. We won't be strays you'll have to hunt down. You think that's what I'm worried about? Rias screeched, magic gathering in her tightly clenched fists. Having to hunt down family? To kill the ones I love? I'm worried about the both of you. Running away like this isn't like you two. You always face your troubles head on, damn the consequences. Why can't you both talk to us about the problems you're facing? Rias. Akino suddenly spoke up in a small voice. The ruined princess turned towards her, Queen. What? Akino was nearing tears herself, biting her lip as she gestured at the twin devils. Use your king, Rias. The azure-eyed teen's lips upturned as Rias complied with the strange request, her trust in her queen absolute. As her king, peace resonated with the pieces within them, she gasped in shock as she tumbled backwards from the pulse of their pieces, her aquamarine eyes widening in horror. 2 kings? Exactly, Naruto confirmed, looking at the 2 great ladies with one eye closed. Consider it our resignation. With this, your slots for the knight and rook pieces have been cleared up. But when? How? Before the school semester started, we took the exam to become high-class devils. Naruto explained matter-of-factly. We weren't fans of the huge ritual and ceremony, so we took it privately with the 4 Satans overseeing the proceedings. It wasn't easy, but we got through it. And you never told us? The Ravenette Queen asked dispiritedly. Why? To be honest, we were going to tell you as soon as we got back. It was going to be a surprise. But before we could, Kiba and Chiron-chan sensed our ascension. Even Sona-chan and Tsubaki-sen found out before sensing our power. Naruto said, looking at Akino with a saddened gaze. We thought you both would, so imagine our surprise when Rias never spoke up about it. Even you, Akino. He grumbled, scratching the back of his head. But at the time, we got over it. After all, the strength we gained was meant to protect everyone precious to us. Even as high-class devils, we didn't care about fame, glory, or acquiring a peerage of our own. We went through the promotion to unlock our bloodlines and claim our heritage, he said, clenching his fist. As a fellow high-class devil, I thought you'll be ecstatic that 2 more high-class devils would boost the power of your peerage, not to mention raise your reputation back in the Kai. But lately, Naruto narrowed her eyes and crossed her arms. It's a reputation you never really bothered to maintain as of late. Surzek's Nizan didn't mind our decision, due to everything that happened at the time. At the same time? Rias echoed, her mind trying to process everything the twins are saying. Naruto smirked dispassionately. Yep, until you brought Haida into the fold, that is. What does Isekun have to do with this? Akino growled, don't tell me you're leaving just because you feel threatened by his presence? Do you want to answer that, or should I? Naruto asked quietly, side-eyeing her former king and queen. Naruto didn't answer as they cleared the forest park area. In front of them was an elevated hilltop road that was part of the nearby highway. Across the street was a small rest area with a mini playground, and a view of Akihabara that was protected by a railing to prevent any accidental falls. Naruto! Naruto! Answer us! Rias demanded as they crossed the street. Is it because of Issei that you're leaving me? Naruto looked at her over his shoulder. Would you be surprised if we said yes? Energy exploded off of Rias, her dark crimson demonic aura flaring from her form. You are leaving us because of jealousy? Not going to deny it, since it's pretty obvious that Haida has taken our place in your hearts. Naruto replied coolly, as phasing by Rias' raging aura. Meanwhile Naruto, who was also unfazed, skipped over to the swings and sat on one of them. This is what all of this is about. Akino furrowed her brow in repressed anger, lightning crackling threateningly in her hands. Isekun is nothing but a perverted little brother. And you both are my siblings in all but blood. How can you even think that he replaced you in our hearts? What gives you the right to assume such things? Naruto raised an eyebrow, slightly amused by their anger in her tones. Well, missing the appointed time to hang out today in favor of blowing Haida's fingers doesn't help your case. You two were so into it that neither of you noticed us like you usually did when we were kids. Startled, the magic faded from Rias and Akino, who could only exchange looks of horror. Naruto just shook his head and joined Naruto, sitting on the swing set. You saw that? Rias whispered. You two were taking too long with the paperwork, so we went to go see what was going on. Imagine our surprise to find you were both going to town on the brat's fingers. Naruto said, anger evident in her voice. From our position, it looked as though you both were sucking something else. Naruto, Naruto growled, his tone telling her not to push it. Naruto shrugged. Meh, my bad, but that's beside the point. Akino shook her head. Naruto, you know that we were. We know. Jokes aside, you were sucking the dragon's magic from his arm. And that's all well and good, since you like to tease him, Akino. Naruto giggled, before reverted back to her annoyed look. It still doesn't change the fact that you never noticed us today. And no, you don't get to use the excuse that you weren't paying attention. Remember us playing hide and seek when we were kids? We would always lose because you two managed to constantly detect our energy signatures. You guys would ambush one of us and smother us with hugs and kisses when you felt our energies close to us. As we grew up, you stopped being so affectionate. And it's understandable, as we were all growing up and maturing. Naruto noted in resignation. At least you were still acknowledging us. But today and for the past few months, it's apparent that we no longer mean as much to you as we did before. Kiba, Kaneko-chan, and Gasper feel the same way, but a much lesser extent than us. Just because. You know, out of everyone we know, you two were the only ones who were unaware of our promotion. Naruto cut off Akino with an exasperated look. Kiba and Chiron-chan noticed almost immediately when he got back from the exams. Gasper found out when Chiron-chan called us out on it while we were playing some video games. Sona-san learned about it because Sarah Falchan couldn't keep her mouth shut around her. Because of that, we waiting for you to notice, but you two never did. And note that this was before Hayadu joined your peerage. As a king, all of your pieces are equal in importance. And I, for the life of me, couldn't figure out how you couldn't sense our promotion like the others. How? I never meant to, Rias stuttered, putting a hand to her heart. She couldn't find a good excuse. That was because she had no excuse. Yes, they were both already powerful, being high devil classes, but she still should have noticed their promotions from a mile away. I'm sorry for not noticing, Naruto. But this doesn't mean that we don't care for you, Rias protested, with Akino nodding in agreement. You had a funny way of showing it past few months, Naruto countered with a nasty sneer. And when the brat came into the picture, it's gotten worse. Nevertheless, we kept our mouths shut, since we wanted to know long it'd take you both to notice. Took more effort from me than Naru and I here. By the way, that's one of a few factors that mostly solidified things for us. One of few? Please explain, Akino begged them. Naruto grimaced. We told you about the Mugen Tenshin clan and the Hero clan. In truth, they've been harassing us for the past few years after someone in Makai sold us out. We can deal with them no problem, but it'll only be a matter of time before they target those close to us. Rias growled. We can handle them no problem. No, you can't, Naruto refuted, shaking his head. Yes, you have the power of destruction, but these idiots specializes in fighting the supernatural. They fight to kill, and you lack the experience to deal with opponents like them. They show no mercy, so neither shall we. It's not worth your hands being stained in their blood. They're our problem. Always have been. Why didn't you tell us about what they were doing to you? Rias asked, looking hurt. Because we didn't want to worry you, Naruto answered. And you busy doing other things, like securing Ko as your territory, dealing with stray fallen angels invading Ko, and telling Riser to fuck off. So, what are those king pieces? Akino inquired, biting her lip. They feel different from Rias's. After our promotion, we had our bloodlines checked, and discovered that one of our ancestors happened to the very first superclass devil, the Dark Knight Sparta. Naruto revealed, giggling at Rias and Akino's shocked expressions. That allowed us to acquire his evil pieces that he had commissioned for his sons, Dante and Virgil. The Sparta pieces, Rias whispered, realizing that now they're kings, they're entitled to their own peerage. So that means. When Sirzex Nizan allowed us to leave your peerage, we had many offers to join other peerages. Saratan was especially insistent. Naruto commented, a ghost of a smile on her face. But we wanted to go our own way, Databane. Wait, you asked Oniai-sama? Rias goggled incredulously. And he agreed? Naruto nodded. We were surprised too, to be honest. But your actions as of late convinced him. Like we said, he didn't mind. Even Venelano Kaisen agreed. Mother too? Why would she dash? Before we answer that, Naruto gave Rias a pointed stare. Rias, have you looked back on the rating game at all? No. Rias answered in a small voice. Why? Naruto sighed, rubbing his hand through his hair. Rias, your mom and dad were watching the rating games. You started out strong, but your performance faltered at the end. They watched as you surrendered the game in an effort to save Hayadu after he was decimated by Riser. You acted as if Riser was going to kill him, but in reality, he was just going to incapacitate him enough to be removed from the game. Everyone was baffled when you just gave up, completely forgetting about your two other offensive capable pieces. A knight, with enhanced speed, and a rook, with enhanced defenses, both high-class devils who can go toe-to-toe with the likes of Serorg both together and individually. What he said? You had a second wind in the form of us. Naruto added, wagging her finger. You could have castled with me so I could help you, Asia-chan, and the brat escape, while Naruto, who was itching to kick Riser Team's ass mind you, would have held him off. Worse, you surrendered, just as Naru and I forced Yubelina out of the game, and that was no easy task. You could practically hear the toilet flushing when that happened. I didn't think of that, Rias mumbled, looking ashamed. Your surrender basically put a lot of egg on the House of Gremory's reputation. I never seen Zyataka Venelana and Sirzex Nizan looking so embarrassed and disappointed, especially in front of the House of Phoenix and other important VIPs. They expected your victory because of our promotion, so imagine their surprise when they found out that you didn't know and utilize us to the fullest. Naruto stated with a deadpan stare. That is not Ria's fault. Akino snapped in an attempt to defend her. King, you never told us anything. Then explain to me how she never sensed us replacing our bloody pieces? Naruto shot back, hopping off the swing set. The power that was generated from that should have caught both of your attention. I mean, it happened in her fucking territory, a quarter of a mile from the school. We haven't been her pieces since she moved into the brat's house. That's unfair to her and you know it. Akino hissed, getting into Naruko's face. You knew she moved in with Isikun, but you left the pieces in your apartment. Yeah, you're right, it is unfair. But shouldn't a king be so unaware of her peerage? What does that tell you about how much she cares about all of us? Naruto retorted, pulling Naruko back. In welcoming Hayato and Aiju-chan, she has neglected the rest of us. If it were just for a few days to get the newbies situated into peerage, sure, that's fine. But it continued. The shadows of vengeance still lingers in Kiba. Chiron-chan is still like you, still afraid of her powers and heritage. Oh, and Gasper hasn't seen her in weeks, and is even more afraid of going outside. As their king, you were supposed to help them with their problems like you promised them, Rias. We could only do so much. Instead, you chose to squabble with Asia over Hayato, amongst other things. Because of your negligence, we had to train alone for our match against Riser, mostly stopping by to help Hayato and Asia-chan in their training. When we were attacked one day by Mugen Tenshin, we were showing battle scars that were not from training, and you didn't even show concern for us when we returned. You could have told us about your troubles, but you kept your mouth shut. In the end, all of this still boils down to jealousy. I thought better of you, Akino snarled. Naruto wistfully smiled and shrugged. I thought better of us too. But we are devils, personified by the 7 deadly sins, and we're selfish. I love you too, Rias Akino. So does my sister here, but we can't have you too. Not when your hearts have been enraptured by Hayato. That's nonsense. I love you too to death, Rias shouted angrily. You know this. What could have made you think otherwise? Because Graphia-san popped in out of the blue, looking for you at our apartment. Naruto answered with a frown. She was pretty surprised to see you weren't there, much to our confusion. She confessed that the House of Phoenix was pushing the engagement, and the House of Gremory folded. She thought you would come to us to lose your virginity to me to annul your marriage with that fried chicken idiot. Imagine our surprise when we tracked you to Hayata's place. Rias took a step back. You saw that too? We saw everything. Like really, Rias? The fucking perverted brat of all people. Naruko snorted with disbelief. Have more respect for yourself, damn it. A girl's first time is sacred, regardless if you're a human or a devil. I know, but you're my closest siblings in all but blood. I chose Issei because he was naive and malleable, Rias argued weakly. And you're one of the 2 women I love, Naruto confessed, and hopped off the swing. You looked so happy when Hayata came for you. Even hurts more after you gave me and Naruko a direct order to stand down when we were about to tear the fried chicken jackass a new asshole. It was like you wanted Hayata to save you instead of me. Naruto stopped to take a breath. After you left and shared that kiss with him, that was the final straw. We requested Sirs Nizan to leave your peerage. Kiba and Chiron-chan understood and supported our decision. But why did you stay on after that? Why not just leave then? Akino shouted hoarsely. Because even after getting our pieces, it's still too difficult to just say goodbye. For these past few days, it was torture to see Rias so smitten with Hayato, but as a friend and sibling, my heart warmed seeing her smile and laugh without a care in the world. Naruto admitted, his eyes watering. That's right, Naruko croaked, wiping her eyes of tears. We were going to say goodbye in that planned outing, but then you both had the nerve to instead suck that brat off. That 1 hour we planned mutually to be together one last time, just to say our goodbyes, and you didn't even notice we were there. No, Naru and I was wrong, Akino. That was the final straw. Things don't have to end this way, Naruko. You're still our dearest siblings. Please give us a chance. Rias pleaded, seeing their hair shadowing their eyes as tears fell down their whiskered cheeks. We'll make up for all the neglect. Don't leave. Please. Dearest siblings, eh? Naruto scoffed, wiping his eyes with his sleeves. I thought we were, for many years. We played together as children until our parents died. We found each other again when you saved us and Akino from the streets. All those times we spent together, laughing and playing and sleeping together. But now we're just a couple of pieces that both of you forgot for a pervert with a dragon arm. Naruto and Naruko started walking towards the railing, turning their backs on their loved ones. So all those years together mean nothing to you now? Akino screamed in frustration and anger, tears falling from her eyes. That made them both pause in their steps. They still mean everything to us, Naruto quietly said. But they obviously meant nothing to you. He turned to look at them, his eyes glowing red with silent fury. We devils live for thousands of years, and I'm not willing to live that long with 2 women I love, spreading their legs for some pervert that only care about one part of your body. I was willing to share the love Naruto had to you, Naruto chimed in. But what's the point if you're smitten with someone else, smothering him with the love you claimed you had for us? Naruto sniffed, her eyes glowing too. We won't interfere with you and the brat. Just do us a favor and don't make the same mistake with your next rook and knight. Before Naruto could finish, Naruto was suddenly struck and sent flying into the rest stop. Rias gasped, Naruto? Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me, Databane. Naruto growled, recognizing her brother's attacker. His attacker wore red armor, with an all-too-familiar red gauntlet on his left arm. Where the fuck did the brat come from? Naru and I. I'll make you pay for making Bucho cry, you asshole! Issei yelled, before charging at Naruto. Issei, stop! Rias screamed, reaching out with her arm. Naruto calmly picked himself up from the rubble and brushed himself off. Well, that happened. He mused, looking over his shoulder to see Issei in his scale mail armor coming at him. All right then, brat. Letting out a wicked grin, he summoned Brynhilde, tracing a circle in front of him. That move, Rias breathed before screaming. Naruto, no! Issei struck Naruto, knocking him further through a building. As the blonde went through wall after all, he slowly faded away. What? Issei was taken aback by Naruto's disappearance. Where'd you RK? Feeling a sharp pain in his chest, Issei looked down to see a silver blade sticking out through his body. He coughed up blood and looked behind him to see Naruto, who was less than amused. He then felt his body being lifted from the ground, causing the boy to hold the tip of Brynhilde to keep it from cutting upward into his body. Right. Naruto growled, his eye blazing red with slits. So if you would just care to explain to me in one sentence why you actually thought attacking me was a good idea, I might just let you go. Issei just gurgled and choked up blood in response. Yeah, see, I don't get it either. Naruto nodded mockingly in agreement. Hey Naruto, why don't you try getting something out of him? Using Brynhilde, he tossed Issei at his now grinning twin, who had Sunfire out and waiting on her right hand. As Issei's prone body flew towards her, her gauntlet configured itself to form a pile bunker that acted as a piston. Like I give a damn! Vault Breaker! She delivered a massive punch to Issei, before slamming him down to the ground with her fist. Activating her gauntlet, the piston pumped, increasing the power of the blow with the force of a door-busting pile bunker. The impact created a crater that sent Issei 3 feet into the ground. Ah, that felt good. Naruto laughed as she withdrew her fist, resetting the piston. Sorry, Naru and I. He had nothing worth asking about. Meh, just as well. Naruto mused, and watched as Rias and Akino ran over to Issei. That sneak attack knocked whatever respect I had for him anyway. You had respect for him? Naruto said dryly. Well, barely, but Naruto shrugged. Nah, not really. Naruto nodded, thought so. The twins watched as Rias and Akino tended to Issei, whose armor deactivated after taking so much damage. Please, that's enough. Akino pleaded as she tried to heal Issei. Don't. We weren't going to kill him, geez. Naruto rolled his eyes and walked toward the railing. After all, he's the guy you chose over us. I'm sure he'll treat the two of you well, being a good-for-nothing perverted shitstain he is. Damn it, just stop it! Rias screamed in frustration, looking at the twin with tear-stained eyes. I'd rather have you too. Please don't leave us. Not like this. Naruto and Naruto didn't stop until they reached the railing. When they looked back at Rias and Akino, there were tears in their blue eyes. Goodbye, they both said before jumping the railing. Rias and Akino cried out and ran over to the railing. When they looked down, the twins were nowhere to be found down below. Chapter 01 End. Next time, Chapter 02, Aftermath. 1 month has passed since Naruto and Naruto left Rias Peerage. Along with training a couple daughters of demon lords, they were scouting out their future peerage members. As for Rias and Akino, well. You made it to the end of the chapter, yay. Hope you enjoyed it. For the new year, I hope to pump out constant updates and whatnot, if real life doesn't get in the way first. This chapter was a basic setup to future events in the story. In addition to deal with the events of Highschool DxD, the twins and their peerages will be dealing with events of Testament of Sister New Devil and Dead or Alive when it comes to their past. Raising hell on earth makes for some good therapy, and a bad day for the Mugen Tenshin, the Hero Clan, and the Cows Brigade. As for Rias and Akino, I'm not going to bash them outright. It's pretty much going to be them learning do not be sorry, be better type of thing. Man, I really need to play God of War. When it comes to the Sparta pieces, they'll be different from the normal evil pieces. You'll see how in future chapters. Also, they'll be used fairly if there's any rating games. As for the extra pieces, there's one extra pawn, and the fairy pieces used will be knight/pawn, knight/rook, knight/bishop, knight/queen, rook/bishop, inverted rook, inverted knight, and inverted bishop. Like I said, peerage members are set on my end, so no requests are being taken. Besides, the ones you request may already be chosen. The next updates, in short order, are Shinigami's Devil Huntsman, The Fox of Overwatch, Fate/Uzumaki, Naruto Hentai Adventures, and an update to 2 older stories. That's it from me. I shall see you all in the next update. Also, subscribe and follow me on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter for Let Plays and retweeting waifus and other stuff. Until then, see ya in the next update. Peace. References. The Mugen Tenshin clan and its Hajimen and Tenjimen sects are from the Dead or Alive series. The Hero clan are from Shinmai Mao no Testament/Testament of Sister New Devil. The Cursed Sword Brynhildr is also from Shinmai Mao no Testament/Testament of Sister New Devil. Sparta, Dante, and Virgil are from the Devil May Cry series. Dio Brando is from the JoJo Bizarre Adventure series. Genra is the master of the Hajimen sect from the Dead or Alive series. Yuma are from the Senran Kagura series. Fiends are from the Ninja Gaiden series, in the same universe as the Dead or Alive series. Sunfire is a gauntlet based off the gauntlet from Young Golden Sun Dragon picture drawn by Dishwasher 1910. Yagyu Shinkijuryu's swordplay and its the first blade, residual moon technique are from the Marvel Blade anime. Hiten Mitsurajiryu Batajutsu and its Dragon Nest flash technique are from the Rurouni Kenshin series. Shotokan Ansatsuken is a fighting style from the Street Fighter series. Mishimaryu Karate and Kazamaru Aikijujutsu are fighting styles from the Tekken series. Sito is from Shinmai Mao no Testament/Testament of Sister New Devil, only seen in the manga and light novel. Vault Breaker is Vi's ability in League of Legends. Released Saturday, January 12, 2019. Naruto and Naruko's new place. The twin blondes reappeared in their new residence via Magic Circle. It was much bigger than their old apartment, with the living room being spacious. That sucked. Naruko grumbled, falling onto the sofa. You're telling me, Databeo? Naruto agreed, tossing his coat into the closet. On his way to the kitchen, he saw a note on a table. Taking it, he gave it a look over. I wonder where the others are? Naruko wondered aloud. I can sense Kuroka-chan asleep in one of the rooms, but the other two. Rainer and Calawarner left a note. Seems that Azazel needs them for the Kokobile case. Naruto replied. He folded the note into a paper airplane and tossed it at Naruko. He grabbed a couple of ramen from the fridge and tossed a bottle to Naruko, who finished reading the note. So what's the agenda for tomorrow? Naruko asked before taking a sip. Naruto sat next to her. Start scouting potential individuals for our peerages. With 50 of us, it's more than enough to take on the Mugen Tenshin clan and the Hero clan. Not only that, but deal with our open cases, and establish blueprints for those 2 villages. 999 yen says we can get it done in a month or 2, Naruko said, raising her bottle. Hey, you're on. Naruto agreed, clinking his bottle with Naruko's own. Also, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have an all-female team, Naruko added, and winked at her brother. If you copy me, they'd better hold up. If I do, my peerage won't be the same as the fried chicken jackass, Naruto stated with a smirk. They'll have the looks, sure, but they'll have the power and skills to best even the strongest king and queen, no matter what piece they are, Databeo. As they took their sips, a crimson magic seal bearing the mark of Gremory appeared in front of them. Appearing from it was a handsome young man with shoulder-length crimson hair and blue-green eyes. Under his white and black robes, he wore black and gold armor on his upper chest. I see that your separation from my sister went well, the man said, casting an amused glance to his surrogate siblings. Hey, Surzex Nizan. Whatever you have for us, can it wait until morning? Naruko whined, we're tired. I know, but this will be quick, the Satan Lucifer assured them. I'm sure you'll recognize your friends here. He moved to the side to reveal 2 girls from their childhoods, making the twins shoot up in shock. Both could be mistaken as fraternal twins, due to both of them being 5 feet 11 inches tall, wearing their hair in high pigtails, and having distinctly slender, yet curvaceous figures with large one had red hair, pink eyes, and wearing a red Chinese qipao with fishnet stockings. The another had pink hair, green eyes, and wearing a skimpy robe with a bustier/corset, arm warmers/gloves, garter belt, and a choker. Mio-chan. Mio-chan. It's been a while, oof. Naruto said in surprise before both girls ran towards them and wrapped them in a big hug. Geez, did you miss us that badly? It's been a few months since we last saw each other, Naruto said as she and Naruto returned the hugs. We're more worried for you, exclaimed Mio, the pinkette. Yeah. We saw that raiding game you were in, Mio, the redhead said, looking up at them. Are you two okay? Oof, you saw that, huh? Naruto sighed, rubbing his head. Don't worry, we're fine. Naruto, I need you two to keep an eye out on your friends here. Normally I'd ask Rias, but she's currently under review after her raiding game and her handling of the stray fallen angel incident. Surzex told the twins as they gently pried their friends off themselves. As you know, Mio and Neo and their family are descended from the house of Asmodeus. Its older descendants are currently dealing with a civil war within their ranks, so their fathers, Wilbert and Gallius, asked us to watch over them, but I figured that they'll be safer with you. On top of that, if you like, you two can continue their training that Graphia started them on. Understood. Leave it to us. Naruto nodded, with Mio and Neo looking quite happy. By the time we're done with them, they'll be forces to be reckoned with, Naruto added with a cheesy grin. Then I leave them in your capable hands, Surzex said. With that, he faded away on his magic circle. So, what will you have us do? Mio asked, before catching a white sword that Naruto summoned to her. We are going to sleep. In the meantime, you can have fun with Ikari no Mithra, Mio-chan, Naruto said before heading to the staircase. Likewise. Naruto summoned a red sword in a roar of flames and tossed it to Mio. You can get to know Hamura no Pyra, Mio-chan. Training starts tomorrow. Oh, Mio said, catching the fire sword. Okay then. Night, girls. Naruto and Naruto went upstairs, leaving Mio and Mio with their own weapons. They must still be drained from tonight, saying farewell to Rias and Akino. Mio noted sadly, sticking Mithra to her back. Mio agreed, lifting Pyra over her shoulders. We won't make the same mistake those two made. We'll stick by them, no matter what. And we'll never forget them. With that declaration, the daughters of the demon lords went after the blonde twins. The new Uzumaki residence, morning. Naruto opened his eyes and let out a large yawn. Rubbing his eyes, he spotted Naruto lying opposite to him on their shared bed. Being twin siblings, they shared a bizarre connection in which they would always awaken in the exact same time, which is why when he got up, Naruto did as well. Blinking, Naruto raised a finger to her lips, a large grin stretching across her face. Naruto looked down and saw a pair of arms wrapped around her midsection. Tilting his body, he discovered that those pair of arms belonged to Mio. Gaining some feeling back into his body, he quickly realized that Naruto wasn't the only one with someone hanging off of them. He too felt a pair of arms around his shoulder, as well as a pair of soft pillows pressing against his back. Grunting, he looked over his shoulder to see that it was Mio, who was just waking up herself. Good morning, girls. Naruto groaned, and used water manipulation to dampen his hands. He then patted his face, the cool water rousing him from his stubborn drowsiness. Oh hail, Naru and I. Naruto mumbled out, and yawned herself. I swear, I didn't ask them to sleep with us. Naruto snorted. Clearly. Naruto. Naruto. Mio-chan. Mio yawned, freeing her arms from Naruto's waist. The redhead reached out her arms and stretched, her bouncing at the motions as she grunted. Oh hail. As Naruto watched the red work out the kinks in her body, he momentarily saw Rias in her place. He grumbled, and rubbed his eyes, refusing them as he saw Mio again. So, have you gotten to know Pyra? Naruto asked, shifting off the bed. Yes. Mio nodded as she slid off the bed. She said that we were compatible, and took a liking to me. The same can be said for Mio-chan. Sounds like we made the right decision in taking them from those ruins in the underworld. Naruto piped up. She hopped off the bed with Mio on her shoulders. We promised Pyra and Mithra that we'd find them suitable partners. Huh? What's going on? Mio moaned as she finally woke up. Is breakfast ready? Should be soon. Naruto replied, sniffing the air. Smells like Kuroka's trying her hand at breakfast again. She's come a long way. Agreed. Now let's freshen up, Naruto advised, and led the girls to the bathroom down the hallway. The four brushed their teeth and washed their faces. The girls then stripped out of their pajamas and hopped in the large shower. Naruto made to leave, but was stripped naked by the girls and dragged into the shower. Mio scrubbed Naruto's back, Neo scrubbed Naruto's back, and vice versa. Poor or lucky, Naruto was doing his damned hardest to not look at the girls' naked forms, and it took an equal amount of willpower and discipline to not get a hard-on. Naruto didn't mind him being there with her, seeing as how she was used to seeing her brother naked, and even secretly admired his body. Mio and Neo were outright embarrassed, of course, but considering what their guardians went through, they weren't going to blast Naruto to Kingdom Come. Besides, it was their idea to bring him in, so it wouldn't be fair to kick his ass for him staring at them. Besides, Naruto would have sent them both flying if they harmed Naruto in any way, shape, or form. After their heated showering session, the four went to their rooms to get dressed for the day. Naruto wore an orange and black t-shirt and blue jeans, followed by a blue leather jacket and a pair of red sneakers. He wrapped a red knitted scarf around his neck, letting it flow behind him. Then out of pure habit, he summoned Brynhilde, twirled it between his fingers, and dismissed it with a wave of his hand, nodding in approval of his own little skill. Naruto wore an orange sleeveless shirt and red choker, and slipped into a pair of black jeans. She pulled on some red arm warmers, put on a black leather vest with a hoodie, and stepped into some red boots. She summoned her Sunfire gauntlet, made a fist, then dismissed it. She then let out a small grin at her skills, showing just how similar she was to her brother. Mio stepped out of her room with an off-the-shoulder yellow knitted sweater, which covered a black tank top. If you glance down at her legs, a pair of blue jean hot pants, black stockings, and black shoes can be noticed. Lastly, Mio skipped out of her room with a white short-sleeved jacket with a hood, which she wore over a long-sleeved red top, which complemented her frilly, black miniskirt with her thigh-high white socks and black shoes. "Hey, you two sure you're not twins?" Naruto asked slyly, seeing the two with their new weapons over their shoulders. "They might as well be. Then again, you two were always attached at the hip," Naruto mused with a smile. Mio's face was red. "Oh, shut up. What's wrong with looking cool? You make it look easy." "Of course we do. I mean, have you seen us, Databeo?" Naruto boasted, resummoning Brynhilde and admiring his and his sister's reflection in the blade. "Nothing's wrong with looking cool, Mio-chan. Just as long as you can back it up," Naruto added with a grin. "We'll do our best," Mio piped up. "We're not going to become deadweight or cheerleaders either. We'll be fight alongside you all the way." "Hey now! Aren't we supposed to be protecting you too?" Naruto asked with a raised eyebrow as they went down the stairs. "I mean, that's the reason Surzek's knees and dropped you on our laps." "We can handle ourselves, but the people that are after us are more powerful than us. I mean," Mio turned away. "That's why we're training with you as well, to get stronger." Naruto nodded. "Indeed." "More importantly, are you going to be okay after last night?" Mio asked, putting a hand on Naruto's shoulder. I'll be fine. At least I think we'll be," Naruto murmured, looking away. "Still, we gotta move forward. Rias, Akino, they made their choice, just as we made ours." Naruto scoffed. "Yeah. I'm sure the two will take care of any fantasy the perv has on his mind." "But is that really okay with you?" Mio pressed them, only to receive no answer as they walked down the stairs. "They don't need to answer. It's obvious it's not," Mio whispered to her. The four made their way to the kitchen, where they found breakfast being served. The server was a beautiful young woman who was 5 feet 3 inches tall, had long black hair with split bangs, and hazel gold eyes with cat-like pupils. She also had a voluptuous figure, her cleavage rivaling the two great ladies of Ko Academy. Gone was her usual black kimono with her yellow obi, and was currently replaced with nothing but a pink, frilly apron. "Good morning, master, mistress," Kuroka squealed as they came into the kitchen. "Just a moment, and I'll serve you up something tasty." "Morning, Kuroka," Naruto greeted and shook his head. "Nice outfit. You could cause a bloody flood with that apron." "Eh?" Kuroka hummed, swaying her hips back and forth. "I'd rather have you bleed from the nose or put a baby in me." "Not up to being a dad yet," Naruto drawled in amusement, making Kuroka groan. "Sorry, not sorry, since we talked about this." "You tease." Naruto laughed. "I hope you made enough for 7. "Of course," Kuroka said brightly. "I smelled the new girls this morning. I figured that they were important, since they were snuggled up to you." "Kuroka, these two are Mio and Neo, daughters of some prominent demon lords in House Asmodeus." Mio-chan, Naruto gestured to the cat girl. This is Tuja Kuroka. Kuroka was an Ikomata who was also a stray devil, giving her the title of Stray Cat. She is also the sister of Tuja Kaneko, and was forced to adopt the surname when the twins found her. Sometime after the twins were taken in by the House of Gremory, they were joined by Kaneko, who was then known by Chiron until Rias renamed her. After losing their parents, Kuroka and Chiron were taken in by a branch family member under the House of Nibirius, and was reincarnated as a bishop. She served the family well, becoming extremely talented in senjutsu and yujutsu. She became so powerful that she actually surpassed her master in terms of magical power alone. It didn't help her case when she killed her master in a fit of madness and rage, and condemned her sister when she ran away. Upon learning this, the twin constantly snuck out of the Gremory territory in search for her. The wanted posters of Kuroka being a SS-class stray devil made it easy. After months of searching, they found and captured her with catnip. Using the latter, they managed to get Kuroka to confess the truth. She killed her master in order to protect Kaneko from him. Her former master's plan involved conducting tests for research to create a super devil, and Kaneko drew the short end of the straw. Rias's mother, Venelana, had overheard the interrogation and helped the twins keep Kuroka hidden. When the twins moved to the human world with Rias, Akino, and Kaneko, Kuroka was moved to Naruto and Naruko's apartment, where she served as their maid in secret. She is still in hiding, waiting until her twin masters finishes gathering information for their investigation that will clear her name. The stray cat. Mio acknowledged, nodding to her. If you're here, then what everyone says about you being a dangerous criminal isn't true. Are you sure, Mio-chan? Cooed Kuroka, an air of chill around her. Killing my former master is considered a criminal act. I mean, Naruto-kun may be taking pity on me for my hot, sexy bod, Naya. Mio raised an eyebrow and snorted. Kuroka-san, my family knows about the Nibiru branch house under the House of Nibirius. Considering that your former master was, it's understandable why you killed him. And you're with Naruto-san and Naruko-san. They're pretty good judge of character. Mio agreed, with Mio folding her arms and nodding in agreement. Not to mention the twins' loves, Big Mio slyly added, making Naruto sputter at the unexpected comment. And here I was going to be careful with teasing you so much. Naruto remarked airily and smirked. How much milk did you two drink, eh? You could feed an army with those jugs. Naruko howled with laughter as it was Mio's turn to sputter, while Mio's face turned a deep, crimson red. Now, everyone, Kuroka said as she set the food on the table, no need to embarrass each other to death. She set up some steamed rice, miso soup, grilled fish, scrambled eggs with bacon, mixed veggie salad, and a few cups of coffee. Oh, Kuroka-chan, you made an awful lot, haven't you? Naruko noted, digging into her eggs and bacon. Not that I'm complaining, Databang. Rainier and Calawarner called ahead. They finished whatever business they had with Azrael. Kuroka informed her as she sat down with them. They're on their way with guests that decided to tag along. What kind of guests? Naruto asked slowly, with him and Naruko looking alarmed. Before Kuroka could appear, a portal appeared in the living room, with two individuals stepping out of it. One was an attractive, 5 feet 4 inches tall erotic-looking young woman, who had long, silky black hair down to her hips, violet eyes, a slender body. Her attire consisted of a short black dress with a small beige blouse and heeled shoes. In contrast, the other woman was a tall and much more mature woman, reaching a whopping 5 feet and 9 inches. Her long, light, navy blue hair partly obscured her brown, right eye, with a golden necklace around her neck that stopped just above her buxom. Her attire served to complement her alluring body, which consisted of a maroon trenchcoat-like top with a wide collar, a matching miniskirt, and black-heeled shoes. The trenchcoat was open at the chest, giving everyone a lovely view of her cleavage. Rainier. Calawarner. Naruto acknowledged, noting the portal didn't close behind them. You two finished your business with Azazel? Yeah. It's concerned about what we know about Kokobile, which isn't much, Rayanra said with a shrug. He just told us to do some tasks, but never told us the endgame. Basically, we were pawns. I would hazard a guess that we were meant to die at that time, Calawarner said with a frown. You're right. Count your lucky stars, Azazel got to us first, Naruto reminded them with a smirk. On the last night of the Fallen Angel incident, the leader of the Fallen Angel organization Grigori made contact with the twins. Naruto and Naruko previously asked Azazel for a favor, in which the Governor-General cashed in. He requested that his subordinate be left alive and brought to him, without Rias knowing. Cue some tomfoolery and pranks, resulting in Calawarner, Danasik, and Middle being embarrassed and humiliated. They broke off from Rias and Akino and went after them, and ended up incapacitated and dropped onto Azazel's lap. As for Rainier, she was punched out of the church while begging for her life, landing in a heap in front of Azazel. While Rias and the others were none the wiser, the twins informed Venelana, so at least one person would know. With us owing you our lives, and learning our lesson, Rainier said airily, all the while turning the portal to a vertical angle. What lesson? Donasek practically forced us into the arrangement. Calawarner drawled in annoyance. And as punishment, we are to serve as the servants of Sparta. Rainier smirked. A punishment? Sure. But a welcome punishment, nonetheless. At that moment, 2 more figures came through the portal, crashing into the floor. Seems that you have your hands full, Mio noted as Rainier and Calawarner sat at the table, helping themselves to some food. They really are a handful, Mio-chan. They're my fellow maids, yet they have no respect for their senpai. Kuroka complained childishly, before nibbling on some fish. Naruto laughed. As long as you gals don't break anything in our new abode, you'll be fine. Naruto then turned his attention to the newcomers. Well, long time no see. Satsuki-chan. Hinata-chan. Naruto cheered as the 2 goggly got to their feet. Our little stalkers. Naruto snorted. Don't you mean guardian angels? Heh, at least you got it right the first time, Naruto. The speaker was a young woman of average height, who had long, raven black hair with a dark blue shade that flowed down her back, onyx eyes. Her beautiful, slender-built face had a neutral expression as always, which would seem cold to those that didn't know much about her. Her sizable DD bust was covered by a black jacket over a red blouse. Under her red blouse were her usual blue jeans and high-heeled combat boots. She is Uchiha Satsuki. Her young, female companion had a cute, innocent angelic look, with her soft, round cheeks and gentle countenance. At 5 feet 3 inches she had long, dark blue Heim-cut hair, and a buxom build with large. Her attire consisted of a purple off-the-shoulder dress that reached down to her thighs, with black thigh-high stockings and blue sandals. She is Hyuga Hinata. Nope, you're stalkers. Stalkers, stalkers, stalkers. Naruto chanted and blew a sour raspberry. Stalkers that want to jump our bones. Satsuki's eye twitched. Hardly that's more Hinata-san than me. Sa Satsuki-chan. An embarrassed Hinata whined, waving her hands frantically in weak denial. Oh, don't deny it. Satsuki scoffed as she brushed herself off. Hey, be nice and come sit with us. The more the merrier. Naruto chided them, and waited until they were seated. Now then. Are they angels? Mio suddenly blurted out. I can sense their celestial energy. Yeah, we're angels. Pure angels, that is. Satsuki replied, with white angel wings sprouting from hers and Hinata's back. And exactly why are you here? Mio asked with a look of suspicion. Devils and angels usually don't get along well together. We're one of the few angels that have no quarrel with devils. Hinata explained as Kuraka quickly served the 2. Also, it's been a while since we've seen Naruto-kun and Naruko-chan. We just wanted to see how they were doing. Hinata then let out a slight pause, as if carefully considering her next sentence. Especially after what happened. After what happened? What do you mean? Naruto asked, confusion written on his face. I swear, it was a pain to track the video down after they pulled it from the DeviTube. Satsuki noted in annoyance. I mean, it's understandable why they took it down, but... Can one of you talk to us? What did they take down from the DeviTube? Naruto asked loudly. The DeviTube is the supernatural version of the human world's YouTube, used by the underworld, heaven, and even by vampires and yokai. She must be referring to the raiding game you and Naruko were in, Mio said thoughtfully. Wait, are you telling me that the raiding game, which was supposed to be a private affair, was uploaded to DeviTube? Naruko asked, her voice growing louder with each word. Yep. It's been up for a few days until it was discovered and taken down. But it was long enough for others to rip it from the site. Mio explained, noting the twins' eyes twitching. That private battle is now known by the entire underworld. You gotta be kidding, Naruko bit out. It wasn't that bad, Hinata piped up. You all fought well. Speak for yourself. Most of Rias Peerage weren't using their full potential. Kuroka pointed out. Her queen, that Kiba boy, and even Chiron. If she wasn't so afraid of Senjutsu, she would have been a force to be reckoned with. Satsuki laughed. Ha! That may be, but it doesn't change the fact that the ending that was pure garbage. Rainier sighed in amusement. Since you didn't know after all this time, it appears that the House of Gremory and the other higher-ups were hiding it from you all. That's impossible. That battle was only allowed to be recorded because it was Ria's first battle in a rating game. Who the hell leaked the Naruto said before remembering what someone said. That someone being the sister of the grilled chicken twat. My brother will beat you all, and prove that he's the best. You'll know firsthand, as well as the world. Oh, that little fried chicken brat. Ku Academy, old school building, early afternoon. There was a somber mood in the main room of the old school building. Once was an energetic air and mature feel, now filled with doom and gloom. That was the mood that greeted Kiba, Kaneko, and Asia when they stopped at the front door. They're going to be so mad at us for knowing about Naruto and Naruto leaving. Kiba noted and sighed. It couldn't be helped, Kaneko said, chewing on a Pocky stick. Rias senpai had all the help in the world, us and the twins. But she bet all her horses on the pervert. Still, even after all this time, I'm still shocked she'd surrender the match. Issei's may be a pervert, but he's tough, and Riser knows not to alright kill during a rating game. Kiba replied, opening the door. But more than that, I take part of the responsibility. I often felt as if I was holding myself back. Join the club, Kaneko mumbled. Despite that, we were way out of our league. The grilled chicken had more experience in rating games, and that was our first one. Aren't we going upstairs? Asia asked as they walked down the hall. We will, but I'm bringing Gasper with us, Kaneko replied as they walked up to Gasper's room. Who's Gasper? Asia asked with a tilt of her head. Your fellow bishop and a damper. She couldn't join the game due to her being unable to control her sacred gear. She would only come out if Naruto and Naruto were around. Kiba explained. We were all trying to help her, but she just shut down every time. But now, she has to help fulfill our promise to Naruto and Naruto. Kaneko huffed, and kicked the door open. Eh? Standing in the room was Gasper, who was shaking in fear. I'm not scared, 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 the young damper kept repeating to herself. Gasper, what are you doing? Kaneko asked with a deadpan expression on her face. Conquering my fears, Gasper squeaked. I made a promise to Naruto-san and Naruko-san. I have to protect Rias Peerage. I can't be scared anymore. I'm her bishop. I should have been in the rating game. I guess you saw it before it was pulled from DeviTube? Kaneko grumbled. I did, and I'm ashamed. I should have been here. I should have helped, even if I couldn't control my sacred gear. Gasper wailed, her legs shaking. So here and now, I will change. I won't wait for Rias Peerage. I'll conquer my fears. Gasper's declaration drew looks of surprise from Kiba and Kaneko. It's about time. It sucks that it took Naruto and Naruto leaving, Kaneko murmured in annoyance. I'll make up for my failures the best I can, Gasper said before slowly walking to the door robotically. Take it easy. Asia chided her fellow bishop, coming to her side. Don't force yourself. After somewhat successfully calming Gasper's nerves, the four made their way to the Occult Research Club room. Along the way, Asia and Gasper got to know each other. In that short amount of time, Gasper started looking up to Asia like the big sister she never had, much to Kiba and Kaneko's amusement. By the time they got to the clubroom door, Gasper was latching onto an embarrassed Asia for dear life. Entering the clubroom, they found Rias and Akino inside. The two great ladies were not their usual joyful selves. Rias was at her desk, looking downtrodden as her head rested on her hands. Akino was at her side, looking miserable. You're finally here. Even Gasper, that's good, Rias said, putting on a strained smile. Gasper, I apologize for not visiting you lately. Gasper mumbled something incoherent, before hiding behind Asia, making Rias sigh. After last night with the twins' departure, Rias barely had a wink of sleep. She cried all night at the loss of her precious comrades, the ones she loved the most. It was one hell of an unwanted wake-up call. As the saying goes, you never truly appreciate something until it is gone. In the back of her mind, she knew she made mistakes as king, but she was focused on finding and retrieving Naruto and Naruto as soon as possible. But right now, she had more pressing matters. I have no appropriate excuse for abandoning you, but I promise I'll do better, Rias assured her, and frowned. Where is Issei? He was supposed to be with you. Kiba sweated, laughing nervously. We tried to drag him along, but... She was peeping in the girls' locker room with his friends. Again Kaneko finished for him, her eye twitching. In a prime position, he claims. Yeah, that Kiba commented, and flinched when Rias' eyes turned demonic red. Akino, I don't care how you do it, bring Issei here to the clubroom. Rias coldly uttered as she stood up. Now. Yes, Rias-sama. Akino stated in a dead tone, before teleporting out of the room. Now, before they return, I have a question, Rias said, her voice still cold as she addressed her peerage. Did any of you know about Naruto-kun and Naruto-chan leaving? Kiba and Kaneko looked at each other, expecting the question. But before either of them could answer. Why, yes. Gasper managed to pop out from behind Asia, and slowly walk forward towards the desk. Her legs were shaking badly, but the damper Bishop stood her ground. She managed to keep her head up, her eyes watery and glassy under the gaze of her king. Gasper? Rias said, her coldness turning to surprise at the boldness of her first bishop. Yes, we knew about Nai-san and Nei-chan leaving. But Gasper's face twisted into a glare of her own. You can't get mad at us because they would never have left if you have forgotten them. Rias flinched at that and looked away. So you knew. My blunder with my first rating game. Gasper let out an uncharacteristic growl. Oh, I know much more than that. Before she could continue, a teleportation circle appeared in the room. Akino reappeared with a dizzy-eyed Issei in hand, and the former was less than pleased. She tossed the prone body of the Red Dragon Emperor to the ground, making sure he landed on his injured side. Ignoring his grunt of pain as Asia flew to his side to heal him, the Priestess of Thunder strode over to her, King's side. Between herself and Rias, Akino was taking the twins' departure badly. Ever since they were children, she was extremely close to them. She considered them her pillars to reign in her darkness, and their presence always relaxed her. But now they're gone, hence not getting any sleep at all, and was snappy at everyone except Rias. Her gentle demeanor turned into a cold one, scaring off every male and female at Ko Academy. Issei, do you mind explaining why you refused to accompany Kiba and Kaneko here? Rias asked angrily. I'm sure they informed you that our upcoming meeting was an emergency. She then shot a look at Kiba and Kaneko. But President Issei looked guilty, but had a defiant tone. My friends discovered a prime spot while the girls were out during PE, and it was a once-in-a-timeline opportunity dash. Why did I bother asking? Rias growled to herself. Mao Akino, you didn't have to be so rough with me. Issei complained, rubbing his shoulder. I'm still hurting after that bastard Uzumaki stabbed me. After you attacked him unprovoked, Akino snarled, her aura flaring up, and ruined our efforts to prevent him and his sister from leaving us. But why would want them after what he said? He made you cry, and I wasn't going to let him get away with it. Issei protested. All he had to do is leave, not trample on your feelings dash. Enough! Rias yelled, her red aura flaring to dangerous levels. Hold your tongue now! Just then, a silver gremry seal appeared on the floor in the room, with Grafia stepping out of it moments after. Am I interrupting anything, Rias-sama? The silver-haired maid asked in slight amusement, seeing the king and queen looking extremely angry at their pawn. No. I was just questioning my pawn why he was late, Rias huffed as she attempted to calm down. Thankfully Akino brought him here in time since this is important. Grafia raised an eyebrow. Indeed. Not a good look for one who defeated your former fiancé. Spare me the praise, I know you're not here about that. Rias said and stood up from her desk. Where is Naruto and Naruko? They won't come back to you even if I tell you. All you'll do is waste their time and annoy them. Grafia replied coolly. Besides, it's not like you valued them anyway. I did, and still do. Rias yelled, glaring daggers at Grafia. I just wish they'll talk to me instead of running away. Grafia raised an eyebrow. If they had the chance to speak with you, they wouldn't have decided to leave you. Said chances involve bickering with your queen and your newest bishop over your pawn. That little kiss you gave to your pawn after he defeated Riser didn't help. That was. Rias blushed, looking ashamed. It was in the heat of the moment she mumbled under her breath, but Grafia caught it. Yes, I'm sure it was riding off into the sky with the family griffin. Grafia countered wryly, causing Rias to blanch. Hey, what do you mean by little kiss? Issei asked incredulity. I saved President from that Riser bastard. Me, the one who would take President's virginity. Akino suddenly flinched, electricity arcing off her momentarily. Grafia stared at Issei before scoffing. As usual. At least you're honest. EW. Kaneko looked grossed out, while Kiba had his hand on his head, shaking it in embarrassment. Issei-san Asia mumbled, blushing furiously along with Gasper. Grafia shook her head and turned her attention back to Rias. No matter, what's done is done. I thought I was here to debrief you on the aftermath of that party, as well as the twin status, but plans have changed. What do you mean, Grafia-sama? Akino asked in a curt manner, her voice respectful but cool. Why can't you tell us about Naruto-kun and Naruko-chan now? Because that will be part of the debriefing, but it won't be just with your brother, Grafia replied, unfazed by Akino's tone of voice. Rias, Lord Lucifer requests the presence of you and your peerage this weekend. There is a joint conference between the heads of houses Gremory, Phoenix, and Citri taking place, overseen by the 4 Satans and the elders. All 3 houses and the 4 Satans? Kaneko asked, looking shocked along with the others. May I ask what this is about? Kiba asked, ignoring Gasper now shaking behind him. This can't be just about the engagement party if the 3 most influential houses in the underworld, as well as the elders and the 4 Satans are involved. Maybe it's a reward for me defeating Riser's ass. Issei cheered, momentarily forgetting the mood in the room. No doubt you wish it were case Red Dragon Emperor, but no. After all, I'm sure you've been well rewarded already, Grafia said with a knowing look at Rias, who gritted her teeth at the jab. You won't be just your peerage Rias, but Sona Citri's as well. Sona? But why? Rias questioned, looking confused. We have been going over your recent actions regarding the incidents here in Ko Town, and how you've handled them. Our findings have found them wanting, Grafia said, and raised a hand to prevent any questions thrown her way. Yours and Sona's actions requires further questioning, especially in regards to the fallen angel incident, among other things. I suggest packing your essentials, for you may be staying for a couple days. That is all. Wait, Grafia! Rias yelled, coming from behind her desk as a teleportation circle formed beneath Grafia. Just tell me this, are the twins alright? And where are they right now? So persistent. Grafia sighed, and stared at Rias with a slight glare. I will not divulge their location, but I can tell you that they're in an emotional flux. They're fine on the outside, but inside they're a mess. Even if you somehow find them, I suggest giving them space. They don't want to see you or your queen, nor do they want to interact with you two in any way, shape, or form. In addition, they are currently dealing with a mission they were assigned by Lord Lucifer himself. You will get clarification during the meeting this weekend. That is all I have to say on the matter. Good day, Rias-sama. With that, Grafia departed. Well, that went well, Kiba said, breaking the silence. Calm before the storm and all. But it can't be all bad, could it? Issei wondered. It is all bad, and no doubt will be a laughingstock when we're outside in the underworld, Kaneko added with a grimace. What do you mean, Kaneko? Akino asked, slightly hurt that Kaneko wasn't looking her way. Someone, and I have a pretty good idea who, leaked the footage of our raiding game onto DeviTube, Kaneko replied grimly. What? Rias screamed in shock. It was removed after a few hours, but it was up long enough for people to rip it from the site, Kaneko continued before popping a lollipop in her mouth. Now everyone knows how badly we screwed up. Gasper nodded in confirmation. That's how I learned about what happened during the raiding game. But that means Akino looked horrified and turned to Rias. Rias! It's Riser! It must be payback what I did to him at the ceremony. All to back at the president, Issei declared, and looked to be the unsure look on his comrades' faces. I mean, it has to be, right? Who else would try to be a sore loser and humiliate the president like Naruto team did? Faces of uncertainty turned into outright furious looks from the rest of the room. What? Issei asked, unnerved from the glares he was receiving. I mean, it's true. Naruto made the president cry, and he... I advise holding your tongue, Issei-kun. Kiba cut across him. When it comes to your feelings on the twins, you're on an island. What are you talking about? Naruko-chan will come around, I know it. It's that bastard Uzumaki who... A flash of metal, and Issei suddenly found Kiba's sword at his throat before anyone could make a move. The latter had a look of cold steel, his calm demeanor non-existent, making Issei shiver. Kiba! Rias shouted reproachfully. Hey buddy, calm down please? Issei squeaked, raising his hands. He was frightened at seeing the usually calm and friendly Kiba the way he was. I'm as calm as I can be, Issei-kun on the outside that is. I shouldn't be surprised that you're giving Naruko-senpai more of a chance than Naruto-senpai, since she has your favorite body type, Kiba said, glaring daggers at the pawn. You may be my fellow peerage mate, but I will not stand by and allow you to mad-mouth Naruto-senpai, especially when you're failing to grasp the point. Kiba, put your sword down, Akino said coolly, continuing after Issei let out a sigh of relief. It's not worth his blood rusting on your blade. Kiba smirked at Issei's dismayed look, before dismissing his sword. Enough. This bickering is pointless, Rias snapped, bringing everyone's attention to her. Naruto and Naruto can wait for now. We have to get ready for the Three-House Summit, so be sure to get your facts straight. That'll be easy, Kaneko uttered with a shrug, before muttering under her breath. I bet some of us will be twisting our stories. Did you say something, Kaneko? Rias asked, narrowing her eyes. Nothing of importance. Kaneko shrugged, before grabbing Asia and Gasper. Come on. Let's go shopping. Yeah, Asia whined. But what about? Wait, I'm not ready. Gasper wailed down the stairs. I'm just gonna get back to my friends, Issei said slowly before zooming off. Catch you later. Issei, wait. Rias shouted after him, but he was already gone. This is becoming troublesome. Ever since the fallen angels were defeated, he has been walking around like no harm can come to him. And now that he's defeated Riser, he's becoming even more unbearable as of late, Kiba noted, brushing back his hair. Well, at least he has confidence now, Rias replied, and his feats are proof of his strength. Is it really? Do you truly stand for this, President? Kiba said, raising an eyebrow. He's allowed to act how he wants, but him insulting Naruto-kun and Naruto-chan is where I draw the line, Rias said heatedly, and noticed Kiba's grimace. What is it? I should say this out of concern as your knight, Rias Bucho. I don't think we're going to come out of that summit with a spring in our step. The things that happened during the Fallen Angel incident and Riser-sama may have landed us in a heap of trouble, hence the summit, Kiba stated as he walked to the window. That's impossible. We handled everything perfectly within our power, Rias refuted angrily. With the power of the boosted gear, as well as the twins, we could handle anything that came our way. Forgive my sudden rudeness, President, but if that were true, then we should have won the raiding game, Kiba countered with a sharp look, not caring that his king and queen were bristling at his blatant disrespect. Naruto and Naruto-senpai were both still active, and defeated Riser's queen, just as you retired the game. Kiba, that is enough. Akino interrupted him, sparks flying off her. Leave now. Kiba sighed at the angry looks he was receiving, and bowing. As you wish. But just know, those are not just my words, but Kaneko-chan's as well. Kiba departed the room. You didn't need to do that, Akino, Rias said quietly, side-eyeing her queen. I already did that for your sake. You would have said something that you would have come to regret later, Akino explained, while not looking at her king. Are you sure about that? I'm sure it has nothing to do with how Yubelina-san made quick work of you after she drank that phoenix tear, Rias stated, noting that Akino wasn't looking at her. You may have been all smiles after IC defeated Riser, but I know you. I know that what Yubelina did was eating you on the inside. IC defeating Riser. TCH, Akino scoffed, walking towards the door. His victory was a fluke, and you know it. The only reason Issei won was because Riser was cocky, was holding back, and didn't take him seriously. That was Riser's fault. He should have known better than to underestimate a member of my peerage, Rias refuted with glare. As a result, Riser got what he deserved. Like I told IC, even a pawn can take down a king. So can a rook, a knight, and a bishop. But I guess it didn't matter who defeated Riser, Rias? Akino mused, looking unimpressed. Then again, now that I think about it, it's always has to be Issei lately. What's that supposed to mean? Rias demanded. You know exactly who I mean, Rias. Akino responded, glaring at her. King, there was a knight and rook, who both had a much believable chance against Riser, and now they're gone. Akihabara, underground, late afternoon. This is cruel, Naruto said as he watched the girls ride on the roller coaster. Nope. Just look at how calm and collected they are. Naruto giggled. Naruto's sweat dropped as she saw the looks on the girl's face when they passed through. Mio looked as if she was trying not to scream, while Mio was screaming her head off herself. Satsuki was calm, cool, and collected, as Hinata hung on to her arm, wailing her lungs out. Rainier and Calawarner were also crying out, as they have never been on such a contraption. Naruto and Naruto had took their little group to an underground amusement arcade located beneath Akihabara. It was a bit of fun and relaxation, since trips like this would be less frequent due to the upcoming battles in the future. The twin were currently stationed at a corner booth, with plenty of privacy. Here are your drinks. Kuroka appeared and set 2 glasses of sodas down in front of the twins. Enjoy. Thank you very much, Naruto said and downed her drink. Ah, that hit the spot. Naruto snorted and sipped his drink. Why don't you go and have fun like the others, Kuroka? I would, but I'm still a wanted criminal. What if there's a devil down there who recognizes me? I don't want to cause trouble, Kuroka said sheepishly. Kuroka-chan, you have us. And we don't mind trouble here and there. If there's a devil looking to take you in, they'll have to get through us, Naruto said with a cheesy grin. Oh ho? Even if it's Lil Rias? Kuroka teased, but sweat dropped when the twins' smiles stopped reaching their eyes. Sorry, slip of the tongue. My bad. We'll forget you said anything for your sake, kitty cat, Naruto hissed, making Kuroka shiver. So how was the ride, girls? Naruto suddenly asked as Mio, Rainier, Calawarner, Hinata, and Satsuki staggered over. It wasn't bad. It was like restricted flying, Satsuki reported and sat down at the table. I can see why humans enjoy them. Next to flying in airplanes, it's the closest to high-speed flying as they can get. Nope. It's more for a thrill than anything, Naruto replied as Mio rested on his shoulder, with Mio doing the same with Naruto. A risky thrill, but a thrill nonetheless. I think the underworld could benefit from a huge amusement park, Mio said before letting out a hiccup. Excuse me. As much as an amusement park sounds fun and all, we don't have the time to dwell on that idea, Naruto stated after sipping his drink. Naruto and I have only one goal at the moment, and that's putting an end to the Mugen Tenshin Ninja Clan and the Hero Clan for their actions against us. The ones who were harassing you over the years, yeah? It's about time you're taking the fight to them, Satsuki said, resting her head on her arms. But as powerful and skilled as you two are, you can't do it by yourselves. Which is why we're establishing our own peerages to help us, Naruto said, before materializing her briefcase. Opening it, she showed them her evil pieces. Neru and I received these Sparta pieces when we made our intentions clear that we were leaving Rias. They were originally supposed to be used by Sparta's sons, Dante and Virgil, but they declined. Even Nero, Virgil's son, declined as well. With those pieces, you could establish your own personal army, Kuroka commented, her eyes being drawn to Naruto's bishop piece. Question is, who do you have in mind? Girls. Lots and lots of girls, Naruto admitted shamelessly. Of course, I'm speaking for Nero and I as well. Heh, I suppose it's inevitable, I guess, Naruto said with a shrug. Then again, it's just you constantly reminding me that it falls to me to restore the Uzumaki clan. Figures it'll be something like that, Satsuki said with a smirk, as the others had blushes on their faces. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to focus on sex, and the girls I choose are not going to be useless cheerleaders, Naruto stated, looking around towards the girls. I want my peerage to fight side by side with me, along with Naruto and her peerage. Together, we're going to take it to those assholes that spite us in our childhood. Don't forget, you'll also have to contend with the House of Asmodeus and other random rogue elements. They're after Mio-chan and I for the powers we inherited from our fathers, Mio pointed out. Right, them too. But it should be fine as long as your dads are dealing with them. But Naruto materialized his own briefcase and popped it open. Just to be on the safe side, why don't you join our peerage? Of course, I'll extend the offer to the rest of you. Satsuki looked unsure. Going from angel to devil is kinda a drastic change. Then again, we're sure to become fallen angels if we stick with you. But if it's for Naruto-kun and Naruto-chan, I don't mind falling for them. Hinata piped up and moved closer to Naruto. Hey, this girl gets it, Reina praised, and gave Hinata a head pat. Being a fallen angel is leagues better than being an angel. We're practically the devil version of an angel. No god over our heads to scrutinize us, no annoying halos like these two have hidden away, and all the time in the world to have lots of fun. Kuroka smirked. Sure, when you're not getting into trouble with Kokubile. I was going through a phase, Rainier protested. Translation: we were blackmailed after Donasek set us up, Calawarner drawled, before jumping as another briefcase was slammed into the table. And that is why I had the twins save you two ladies from getting killed, the newcomer said with a grin on his face. He was a tall man appearing in his 20s, standing at a staggering 6 feet 2 inches, with his black hair, golden bangs, and red eyes making him look handsome, and yet intimidating. He possessed an average build, and is wearing a dark blue jacket over a black vest suit, a red Tuesday, purple trousers, and black shoes. Azazel, Governor General of the Grigori. Hinata breathed, looking quite shocked. Ah, Azazel-sama. Rainier as she and Calawarner bowed to the man. Well, this is a surprise, Azazel-san. Just 2 questions. How did you find us, and what are you doing here? Naruto asked suspiciously and looking annoyed. If it's about another favor we owe you, can it wait? Hello to you too, Naruto-kun and Naruko-kun. And to answer your questions in order, Rainier and Calawarner have tracking spells placed on them, and I know they're always with you now that you've left Rias Peerage. I heard that we're now free agents and as high-class devils, it was time to enact Eva's instructions. And finally, Azazel opened the briefcase and took out 2 decks of cards. I don't need to enact another favor yet. How comforting. Naruto drawled, and eyed the deck of cards in his hands. And what do you mean by Eva's instructions? By Eva, do you mean Sparta's wife? Naruto guessed with a raised eyebrow. The very same. She wasn't just Sparta's wife, she was a half-human half-angel with the teaching of the Umbra witches. Also, she kicked my ass plenty of times. Azazel said, smirking as he remembered the good times. Truly a good woman for Sparta-sensei. What a surprise. We never knew that Sparta trained you, Myo said, with Rainier and Calawarner looking up in surprise. Azazel nodded. I may be a playboy who defied God's will, but I'm far from weak, you know. Also, he was a good teacher. So what's with those cards? Naruto asked, nodding his head towards them. Something else Sparta left behind for his sons to have? Wait, are those brave saint cards? Hinata asked after closely looking at them. But the Seraphism said that the royal user system wasn't ready yet. Because they didn't have these. Eva didn't trust the Seraphim, for good reason I might add, so she entrusted them to me. Think of them as heaven's answer to the evil peace system the devils use. Funny enough, these prototype cards were discarded as failures. But Eva got her hands on them, worked her magic on them, and made them usable thanks to examining Sparta's evil pieces. Azazel explained before handing them to the twins. They're yours now. He handed Naruto the cards with the symbol of a crescent moon, and handed Naruto the card with the symbol of a 5-pointed star. Wow! There are 20 cards in here! Naruto exclaimed as she shifted through them. I bet Grandma Eva wanted lots of grandchildren or something. Azazel smirked as he stroked his chin. Dante and Virgil didn't want the cards, but Eva ended up with grandchildren anyway. Dante got with his partners Lady and Trish, and Virgil ended up with a human woman. Don't know much about the latter, but word is that she was so beautiful she caused Virgil to forget his quest for power for a time. Too bad Virgil wasn't around for Nero though. Sounds like a good thing, considering it's Virgil we're talking about. Naruto scoffed. He would have given him the Mishima Heihachi treatment. King, Queen, Princess, Valkyrie, Jack, Ace, Joker, Wild, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. X, Naruto mused with a chuckle. Are there 2 more of these decks? We can play Uno with them. Also, it seems like some of these cards took cues from some of the fairy pieces in the evil piece system. Indeed. After all, I helped her design them. Azazel revealed, jabbing himself with his thumb. Well, I just advised, and she did all the work. Does this mean that Naruto-kun and Naruko-chan can reincarnate humans as angels? Hinata asked in amazement. But there are still devils. We're not complete devils. Never were. Our heritages don't just include devils and demons, but angels and gods as well. The evil pieces within Naruto and I resonates with our king pieces, just like our precious knight and rook pieces had. Naruto remarked, and looked at the king card on top of his own deck. If a union between Sparta and Eva is possible, then our king cards can resonate with the light side of our heritage, and coexist with our king pieces. Are you planning on taking them in here? I doubt the people will appreciate the mess that'll came from the power surge. Kuroka pointed out, drawing attention to the fact that there were people still enjoying their night in the underground arcade. She's got a point, you know. Mio agreed, while Mio laughed nervously. Heh. Looks like we'll have to take this somewhere else. Naruko sighed and stood up. Question is where? I'd rather not Rias track us after we take in the cards. Actually, I have an idea, Hinata piped up, with all eyes on her. Uzumaki residence, living room, sometime later. Satsuki and I just erected a barrier that'll mask the power surge when you take in the king cards. Hinata said happily, with the twins' sweat dropping. Since it's holy energy, the holy barrier should act as a buffer to keep residual energy from leaking out. It should work in theory. Azazel mused as Satsuki returned from outside. But if it doesn't, well, there's a new invention I've been meaning to test out. With us being the guinea pigs again, Naruto drawled with a roll of his eyes. Better than getting involved in Seraph's magical girl shenanigans, databang, Naruto remarked with a shrug. I've heard that Seraph-chan threw quite the tantrum when you declined her offer to join her peerage. Good choice, by the way. Seraph-chan has her peerage involved in most of the production in Miracle Leviathan, Azazel commented, causing Naruto to shiver. That would have been a waste of their time, Mio remarked with a scoff. Kuroka giggled. Speak for yourself, Mio-chan. I would love to see the twins guest star. Naruto shook his head and held out the king card, with Naruto doing the same. The cards glowed, resonating with the king, pieces within them and pulsing beats. Naruto and Naruto looked at each other and nodded, before bringing the cards to their chests. Everyone watched as the cards sank into the twins' bodies. A blue aura danced along their bodies before engulfing them in white light. Then, red sparks from the king pieces appeared and arc along their bodies, with the crimson mist melding with the white light. Is that supposed to happen? Satsuki asked nervously and out of concern. Azazel grunted, and covered the glowing twins with multiple barriers. Despite his best efforts to contain the sudden burst of power, the ground began to shake. Dishes rattled as they threatened to fall onto the floor. Lights flickered as they swung like a pendulum. The air itself began to grow denser, almost vibrating from the pure power the twins radiated. Then, a blinding burst of energy, much stronger than the previous one where the twins took in their king pieces, pulsed through the residence with a bang, almost sending everyone flying, while Azazel merely chuckled as the force blew his hair like the wind. It stopped at Satsuki and Hinata's barrier, which shattered into dust as a result. The pulse traveled through the blocks until it stopped at another barrier that was erected in secret. So reckless, just like their mother Kushina. Graphia mused, and shook her head. Unbeknownst to the twins, Graphia had her familiars spy on the twins, suspecting that Azazel would make contact. Like Azazel, she, as well as Venelana, was aware of the Eva cards, and that Azazel was in possession of them. I can only hope that their new positions won't go to their heads, Graphia murmured as her familiars returned to her. Come, Glacian and Leafeon. We're going home. Glacian. Leafeon. I can sense you, Graphia-chan. No doubt Venelana sent you to make sure this wasn't a total dud. Azazel mused to himself, and turned his attention to the twins as the pulses turned into gentle pulses. You guys alright in there? The white and crimson light show died down, and had just faded into the twins. Unlike last time though, their appearances made a much noticeable change. Both Naruto and Naruto had sported angel wings on their upper backs, with the devil wings on their lower back. What made their angel wings more amazing, however, was their color, or rather, the difference of each one. Naruto's right wing was pure white, representing the angels, while his left one was jet black, representing the fallen angels. Naruto's wings contrasted Naruto's, where the right one was black, while the left one was white. Was this supposed to happen? Naruto asked loudly, pointing at her midnight black wing. Oh man. If this isn't a defilement of God, I don't know what is. Rainair breathed, scooting forward to get a closer look. The Seraph higher-ups with the bigger sticks up their ass are gonna be pissed. Satsuki agreed, getting in Naruto's personal space and examining her wings. Be prepared for them to call for your heads. They'll have to get through me first. Mio yelled, her aura flaring. I'll kill them 100 times over. I don't feel any different though. I guess our light resistance went up a notch, Databao. Naruto commented, staring at his wings. With a jerk of his shoulders, all his wings disappeared into his back. I'd suggest keeping your wings hidden for the time being, Azazel advised as Naruto dismissed her own wings. The world is not ready to see something like that. You'll have to be on Sparta's standing to deal with the fallout. After all, in this day and age, the more power you have, the more authority you wield. Like we care about those stuck-up old coots. Naruto growled, summoning her Sunfire Gauntlet. All I have to say to them is to talk to the fists that break their bodies if they try anything, Databane. Besides, we don't have time for them. After all, we have an army to build, before our dates with the Mugen Tenshin and Hero Clan. Naruto stated coolly. Everything else is on hold. Azazel laughed at them. Well, things are about to get real interesting, eh? I'll leave you to it. Just don't hesitate to come to me for help after this weekend though. I'll be quite busy, and I'll need Rainair and Calawarner. Again? Why? Calawarner complained, folding her arms beneath her bust. We've given you everything we know, Azazel-sama. To me, yes. But not to the 4 Satans who requested my presence, Azazel said before sighing. What a pain. What would the 4 Satans want with you? Myo inquired, voicing everyone's curiosity. It's in regards to Rainier and her group's actions in Co., but that's only one small piece of the conference. Azazel explained, and took a seat on the sofa. From what I was told, this upcoming conference is headed by the 4 Satans, the elder advisors, and the heads of the houses of Gremry, Citri, and Phoenix. What? Mio and Myo yelped. Are you kidding me? Rainier growled, looking displeased. With involvement like that, there's no way this can be kept secret. Kuroka commented slowly. Well, it is a secret for a reason. From what I was told, it's mainly focused on Rias Gremry and Sona Citri's lack of control of Ko Town. There were a few incidents that should have been handled correctly, and yet they weren't. Azazel revealed, with the twins stiffening up. Oh, they thought as one. And I'm pretty sure you two have an idea of what I'm talking about. Azazel added, staring at the twins with a knowing look causing them to sweat. If this was planned, it was never mentioned by Lucifer-sama. Mio spoke up. Probably because he didn't want those two to stress over this. But if you asked me, their input is needed. Still, it's up to them whether or not they want to go. No one is forcing them to go, Azazel said before getting up and walking towards the exit. Will you require our presence right now? Kellewarner questioned, with Azazel shaking his head. We can help make sure our stories are straight. Not until this weekend, so you're free to help the twins however you see fit. Just know that this snooze fest is gonna take all day, Azazel said before he departed. See you all then. Night. Naruto and Naruko sighed, as Kuroka went over to the door and locked it. So, what are you going to do? Satsuki asked, before letting out a smirk. I can see the looks on your faces. Itching to go? Don't know, and don't care at the moment. Naruko replied and stretched with a groan. Right now, I'm trying to put it out of my mind and think about who to recruit for my peerage. Naruto scoffed. KH, speak for yourself. I'm actually interested in attending that little party. Naruko stared at her brother in surprise. Are you sure? At Naruto's nod, she sat back down with a grumble. I'll bring the snacks and the sleeping bags. If you go, then I'm going as well. After all that I've heard and seen, I want to watch Rias squirm. Mio said gleefully. She may be a friend, but she's always been so full of herself that she needs multiple plates. Mio-chan, that was a bit too cruel. Mio laughed nervously at her friend's insult. Naruto just shook his head in response, and then began to eye the occupants in the room. Naruko looked as if she was enjoying herself, laughing after Mio's insult towards Rias. He noticed that she was also eyeing Mio and Satsuki with that look. The pinkette noticed her stare, causing Naruko to look away with an embarrassed cry. Satsuki, who had also noticed her staring, let out a smirk. Looks like my little sister has a claim on them. Which leaves me with. So. Naruto jumped when he felt Kuroka leaning her assets onto his back. Who did you have in mind to join your peerage? Maybe you're looking for someone close to home? Her question ended up drawing the attention of Mio and Hinata. Mio blushed, and looked as if she was hoping to be chosen. Hinata was the same way, poking her fingers together before snapping out of it. Naruto smirked and opened his briefcase. I have a few ideas. Rias residence. Rias couldn't sleep. She was afraid to sleep. Ever since that fateful day with the twins, she's been having nightmares about different raiding games she and her peerage were involved in, yet Naruto and Naruko were nowhere to be found. The games would end poorly, resulting in defeat after defeat. It was the complete opposite of what she wants. As a high-class devil, her goal was to conquer the raiding games, with her family being the undisputed champions. The after-parties would celebrate her domination, and prove to the underworld, and heaven, that the House of Gremry were unstoppable. In her last dream, her peerage actually won after Naruto and Naruko finally joined. It seems that Rias was acting hasty, wanting the game to start before its appointed time, hence the twins arriving late. Of course, Rias celebrated with her peerage, and wanted to personally celebrate with her childhood friends. Akino was by her side of course, but instead of the twins with them, it was Issei. Rias shook her head to rid herself of the memories of the dream. There were more pressing issues at hand, and it was what happened during her raiding game with Riser. Everyone was baffled when you just gave up, completely forgetting about your two other offensive-capable pieces. A knight, with enhanced speed, and a rook, with enhanced defenses, both high-class devils who can go toe-to-toe with the likes of Serorg both together and individually. Forgive my sudden rudeness, President, but if that were true, then we should have won the raiding game. Naruto and Naruto-senpai were both still active, and defeated Riser's queen, just as you retired the game. That can't be right, could it? Rias murmured, putting a hand to her head. Back during the raiding game, when she was checking on Issei after he took a severe hit from Riser, everything became a blur for her. She could only hear Issei's ragged breathing, and Riser's condescending voice. Rias then flinched, realizing that she heard some kind of announcement right before she resigned. She couldn't recall what that announcement was, but she put on her glasses and quickly made her way to her multi-screen computer and accessed the DeviTube. She searched her rating game, and her blood ran cold when she saw the many results that popped up. All the titles for the clips were either neutral, or were very biased clickbait, with thumbnails mocking and or altering Rias's image. Heiress of Gremory self-destructs her rating game. Top 10 worst moments of Rias Gremory vs Riser Phoenix. An analysis of how not to play a rating game, feat Rias and Riser. Gremory vs Phoenix rating game, live reaction, cringe. All the best moments of Rias vs Riser. Complete embarrassment. Phoenix burns Gremory's dragon alive. Why these insufferable dash? Rias seethed, seeing red at the DeviTubers insulting her name. I'll have their heads. She quickly scrolled through the result pages, finding it difficult to ignore the various insulting titles. Thankfully, she happened upon a raw video of her rating game with no interruptions. Rias Gremory vs Riser Phoenix, raw, unedited, mirrored. Rias swallowed hard, her heart beating uncomfortably fast, with Naruto and Kiba's words echoing through her head. Resigning herself, she clicked the link to the video and allowed it to play. As she put it on full screen, she failed to notice the door to her room was crack opened, allowing two sets of eyes to spy on her. Nisama, shouldn't we stop her? Remington. If she's anything like Vanillana-sama, she can handle it. But if she continues at this rate, she'll only find pain. True. But this is necessary for her to learn her lesson. You're still mad that she used the pieces meant for us on that boy. Yes, I am, Rem. You're scary, Nisama. Naruto and Naruko's apartment, a few weeks ago. Naruto-kun, Naruko-chan. Welcome home. Kuroka squealed as the twins teleported into their apartment. The Nekisha immediately ran up to them, and the first thing they noticed was her very little clothing. Would you like dinner first? Or a bath? Or dash? She bent over, showing them her ample cleavage through her naked apron. Perhaps me? You are one horny cat. Naruto deadpanned, poking her in the head. You sure you're a Nikomata and not a succubus, Kuroka-chan? Mao, you're so mean, Naruto-kun. Kuroka whined, and purred when he scratched behind her ear. Can't you have a girl like me have her moments? No problem. Just be prepared for light disappointments. Naruko teased, and patted her head. Remember, Naru and I's not in the business of having kids yet. I know. Kuroka sighed, and brightened up. So, are you hungry? I'm making beef stroganoff and miso ramen. That sounds lovely, Naruto said with a grin. Let's dig in. Naruko cheered, jumping up and down, her jiggling in response. Kuroka returned to the kitchen, while Naruto and Naruko made a beeline for the small dining room. There, Rainier and Calawarner were sitting down at the table and waiting, dressed in French-made outfits that Naruko got them as a prank. Both were still getting used to serving the twins, due to an order from the Governor-General of the Fallen Angels. The two looked at the twins nervously, and blushed when they gave them their eerie, yet warm smiles that said, "Be on your best behavior." Soon, dinner was served, and everyone dug in. Not bad, Kuroka-chan. Definitely better than your last disaster. Naruko praised her. It looks and tastes normal than that violent purple concoction you made several times. Well, I've been stuck here, so I had plenty of time to read and practice. Kuroka replied meekly, before sticking her tongue out at them. At least our time as test subjects has come to an end, Calawarner muttered under her breath, with Rainier laughing nervously. Wish it was Donasek, or the little brat instead of us. Dinner continued on with the occasional banter. Naruto and Naruko recounted their contracts, with most of them being of the female variety. Kuroka continued gushing over how much of a good housewife she'll be, and as usual declared her intent to marry the twins. As for the fallen angels, they didn't have much to contribute to the conversation, other than the occasional comment. Soon, they all finished their meals, and turned in for tonight. With 5 people in one apartment, it was a bit cramped. Rainier and Calawarner shared a sofa bed, Kuroka curled up on Naruko's old futon, while the latter decided to sleep together with Naruto in his futon. Sorry for taking up space again, Nara and I, Naruto said as she hopped into her brother's bed. It's alright. It's nice after all. Reminds me of the time when we were little kids, Naruto replied, sitting on the edge of his futon. I may have a place lined up. I'll show you what I found in a few days. Cool. I hope it'll be a big mansion like Lara Croft's home, Naruto commented, spreading her arms out, the motion making her tits bounce. If not, we can ask Vanillanakachin to renovate it for us. Naruto sighed, knowing what his twin was getting at. Naruto, we're not ready for a big family yet. Yeah, I know. But we're high-class devils now, and we're ready to take the fight to the Mugen Tenshin and the Hero clan, Naruto countered cheekily. Especially since it seems that they're starting to work together. True, Naruto nodded, and shifted onto the bed to lay down. But the result will be the same, with them being very, very dead when they cross us. Naruto giggled, albeit in a disturbing manner. And this time, there won't be any bodies to bury. Oh, ominous. Naruto laughed, not minding that Naruto was now straddling his waist. And no, sis, I'm not gonna give you any sexy time right now. I know, Databane, Naruto drawled, rolling her eyes. Not until we share a bed with Rias-chan and Akino-chan, once they're done with the Aragaki and the sister. But she brought her face close to his and licked her lips. Nothing wrong with a little smooch. You think by doing this sort of thing with a commoner that the engagement would be broken? The hell? The twins shouted, leaping up as a silver Gremry magic seal appeared on their bedroom floor. The wife and queen of Surzek's Lucifer, Graphia Lucifuge, appeared from the magic circle with stern disapproval on her face. When the light and circle dissipated, her look turned to surprise when she laid eyes on the twins. Graphia? What are you doing here? Naruto asked as he and Naruto quickly hopped off his bed. Naruto? Naruto? I thought. She looked around, as if trying to sense a magical signature. I thought Ria-sama would be here with you. Nope, she hasn't come by. Last we saw her, she was with Akino-chan in the clubroom, Naruto said with a frown. Hayate had gone home while the others went on their request run. We just got back from one ourselves. Yeah. Ours was a Valkyrie from heaven who's been constantly told by her benefactor that pain helps people understand each other, with the same benefactor torturing her for the lulz. Naruto reported, grumbling through it. She does have some cool armor, too. Symphogear, if I recall correctly? Basically, we gave her positive reinforcement to counter it, while letting her into our patented Uzumaki massage parlor for her pains and aches, Naruto added before coughing. But enough about that. Why are you looking for Rias-chan here? Judging by that question, Rias hasn't told you, Graphia stated with concern. Odd. Naruto looked confused, looking from her fellow blonde to the maid. Told us what? Is this about her brooding and acting weird for the last few days? Naruto asked, looking from Naruto to Graphia. She said she was fine when we asked if everything's alright. She lied, obviously. It's even more disturbing that she didn't tell you too, since you're so close. The maid sighed, before continuing. It's Riser Phoenix. He's coming to Kote to force Rias's hand in marrying him. Come again? Naruto asked simply, before Naruto exploded in rage. Excuse me, what? Naruto shrieked, her twin tails responding to her anger by waving around. If I recall correctly, that stupid contract goes into effect after Rias-chan graduates from college. Why is the fried chicken jumping the gun now? Naruto questioned, his eye twitching in anger. And how is Zio Taozen and Veneo-Keisan allowing this? Isn't Okasan childhood friends with Lady Phoenix? Naruto demanded, looking close to blowing a gasket. Yes, they are, but certain members of the House of Phoenix and several high-ranking devils on the council were pressuring the House of Gremry and throwing their support behind Riser. Remember, they have grown impatient over the years due to the number of pure-blooded devils dwindling. Graphia explained, with the twins groaning. Because of those factors, the House of Gremry had no choice but to comply, despite support from the four Satans. Well, shit. Still, Rias-chan isn't here. And even if she was, why would she be? Naruto asked with a frown. I believe that she would come to you to give you her virginity. Graphia responded flatly, causing the twins to blush furiously. It's one of the only ways to null the contract. Oh well, we're flattered, Naruto stammered before getting a grip on himself. He then used magic to change his clothes, now wearing an orange shirt, blue jeans, and red sneakers. But she didn't come to us for that. Gay, which means that she's in the wind. Come on, let's go find her, Naruto suggested, with Naruto nodding in agreement. She also used magic to change clothes, now wearing a sleeveless tight orange shirt, black jeans, and white sneakers. Hopefully, she doesn't do anything stupid. Fuck. Can you track her? Grafia inquired as they leapt out of the window. If she's still in Ko Town, yes. Naruto responded as they took to the air with their devil wings. Closing his eyes for a moment to focus, he snapped them back open. Found her. She's not far. Naruto and Grafia followed Naruto, who led them across town. The latter frowned when he recognized the area Rias was in, and his heart tightened, especially after remembering what Grafia's words. I believe that she would come to you to give you her virginity. It's one of the only ways to null the contract. Oh please no. There, wait, isn't that the Arogaki's house? Naruto asked loudly. They descended and landed across from the Haida. Yeah. Naruto growled through gritted teeth, clenching his fist as he looked through the window. It is. I see her. Thank you? Grafia nodded before teleporting into the residence. As Grafia disappeared, Naruto looked disheartened to see the pained look on her brother's face. Peering through the window, her heart stopped at seeing Issei on top of Rias. She was already naked and pulling down her panties, while keeping Issei's hand on her. What the hell? Rias-chan, Naruto bit out as the silver light of Grafia's teleporting flashed through the window. Why? With him of all people. Why would you promised? Naruto made a noise with his throat before turning to leave, using flash step to depart the area. Naruto growled, momentarily summoning her Sunfire Gauntlet on instinct, before dismissing it. Locking on to her brother's signature, she flash stepped away. She appeared in a forest before letting out a scream of frustration. She kicked a nearby tree, uprooting and sending it flying. Arg! Resummoning Sunfire, she incinerated several trees, yelling, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it! Perched on one of the undamaged trees was Naruto, who had Brynhild Drought. He barely paid attention to Naruto's rampage as he gripped his sword tightly. The sword's usual light green aura took on a purple hue, the sword responding to his anger. Naruto breathed slowly to keep himself calm, but was barely succeeding. She was already naked, and was pulling down her panties. Biting her lip as Issei kept his hand on her, she held back a moan as he greedily reached down for her panties. Slash! With a low growl, Naruto swung his sword to the side, turning several trees into fine-cut logs. The twins were different in terms of dealing with their anger and rage. Naruto keeps himself calm, cool, and collected, despite his Uzumaki blood screaming at him to go berserk and losing his temper, resulting in tranquil fury. Naruto, however, was the complete opposite, opting to outwardly explode as her Uzumaki temper overtook her. In a way, Naruto was usually the one to accurately display their shared anger. Careful now. Don't use that twice critical in your Sunfire to turn this place into a crater. Naruto snorted and leapt down. Remember, the temper we got from Ka-chan is worse than those monkey yokai like cauliflower and kale. I know, Nara and I. I'll be saving that for the little shit. Naruto huffed, and dismissed her gauntlet. Fuck. Screw Haida for now. I want to know what the hell Rias-chan was thinking, and why neither she nor Akino-chan told us about the fried chicken coming. Naruto growled, nonchalantly slicing a few more trees into logs without looking. Along with the bright idea of giving up her virginity to Haida of all people. Yeah, especially after she and Akino promised you their virginities when we promised to marry each other. Naruto added bitterly, and kicked one of the logs high into the sky. I know, but that fact that Rias-chan went to Haida means that promise is null and void. At this rate, it's going to become a Netera situation, and I want no part of it. I don't want to think that will happen, but after tonight Naruto looked in the direction of the Haida residence. It's a fleeting dream. It's not over yet, Naru and I. Naruto assured her brother, grinning. Let's see where the cookie crumbles in the next few weeks. But first. Naruto smirked. We have a phoenix to roast, Databayo. Chapter 03, The Rating Game, That Ruined It All. Occult Research Clubroom, after school. Oh, hey Naruto-kun, Naruto-chan. Rias greeted them as they entered the room. Yo, Rias-chan, Akino-chan. Naruto greeted back, and nodded to Grafia, who was standing near Rias' desk alongside Akino. Yo, Grafia. Good to see you, Naruto and Naruto. Grafia said, nodding curtly to them with a knowing look. So, how was your day? Akino said, seeing Naruto sitting down looking sullen, with Naruto coming up to the desk. Both of you barely spoke a word in school. I could say the same about you too. Naruto replied coolly, drawing confusion from his king and queen. Why didn't you tell us about Riser? Rias and Akino flinched, and looked at each other nervously. Wait, how did you know? Grafia told us. Naruto spoke from the couch. Rias shot a dirty look at Grafia, who ignored it. Sorry, but we didn't want to worry you. Plus, we didn't want you two to cause trouble. Rias explained in a careful manner. Heh, I'll be sure to keep that in mind when I keep a big secret from you next time. Naruto snorted. And here I thought we were close. We are close. Don't ever say that we aren't. Rias snapped in indignation, troubled by his lack of faith in her. Together forever, right? Naruto scoffed and joined Naruto on the couch. The image of Rias trying to get intimate with Issei was still fresh in their minds. Guys. Rias was alarmed by the twins' attitudes towards her. Just yesterday, it was business as usual, with them joking around and her and the others laughing at their antics. But now, they were giving her the ultimate cold shoulder. They're angry at me. Wait, it couldn't be me going over Issei's house to try and terminate my arranged marriage with Riser, could it? But I didn't sense them, so it couldn't be that. Maybe Rias bit her lip. I shouldn't have hid the fact that Riser's was coming after all. I told her keeping Naruto-kun and Naruchan in the dark was a bad idea. But no, she was worried that they would do something drastic, opting to wait at the last minute. Akino thought, side-eyeing her king. Who knows what they're going to do now? If one could count the days Rias and Akino have known the twins, Akino would have been the one to have known them a lot longer than Rias. While Rias played with the twins on a few occasions when their mothers hung out, Akino spent 1.5 years with them while they were homeless, prior to moving in with the House of Gremory. The Priestess of Thunder knew the twins wouldn't take well to her and Rias not telling them about Riser. She did press Rias to inform their dear friends, but the king put her foot down, not wanting to risk an incident that could draw the wrath of the House of Phoenix. The fact that Rias could barely control the twins and their antics factored into the decision as well. Every action has a consequence, with this one being Naruto and Naruto giving them the meanest cold shoulder one could give to their significant others, lazing about on the couch until Kaneko arrived. She sat down between the twins, and they immediately engaged in small talk over music. This continued on until the trio froze, feeling an ominous presence that came out of nowhere. He's here, Naruto whispered, before grinning ear to ear with her brother. Shall we then? Let's shall. Huh, what are you doing? Kaneko asked as the twins moved to the middle of the room. Rias, Akino, Kaneko, and Grafia were looking baffled as the twins cleared out the usual area that is used for teleporting into the clubroom. The ladies' then sweat dropped when Naruto unsealed a giant marble floor and placed it on the wooden floor, with Naruto unsealing a giant barbecue pit, setting it on top of the marble. A bit later, Kiba, Asia, and Issei arrived into the clubroom. Hey all, Grafia-san! Issei exclaimed when he noticed the maid. Looks like you're all here, Rias noted as she stood up from her desk, her eyes twitching. The newcomers finally turned their attention to the twins just as Naruto began pouring charcoal into the pit. What are they doing? Issei asked, pointing at them. Never you mind. It's just Naruto-kun and Naruchan being Naruto-kun and Naruchan. Best to leave it at that, Akino replied with a sigh. Milady, should I inform them? Grafia inquired. Rias raised her hand and shook her head. Instead, she addressed her peerage. The truth is I'm. Suddenly, an orange-red light appeared in the room, followed by a wall of flames that reached to the ceiling. An unbearable heat washed over the room, as everyone's attention was drawn to the large magic circle. A magic circle? Issei yelped. That's the crest of the House of Phoenix, Kiba clarified in shock, as a red-hot flame burst from the magic circle with the sound of a phoenix's cry. It's been a while since I graced the human world with my presence. As the flames slowly died down, a lone figure can be seen in the flames. Stepping out of the fire was a handsome young man in his early 20s with short yellow hair and dark blue eyes. His outfit consisted of a burgundy blazer with gold embroidery on the right with matching pants and black dress shoes. Underneath his open blazer was a white dress shirt that wasn't fully buttoned, giving everyone a slight view of his chest. I've come for you, my dear Rias. The man looked down to find himself standing on the metal rack of a large barbecue pit, with his flames still roaring around him. What also greeted them were the Cheshire Cat smiles of the twins, who were roasting marshmallows. Well, look who decided to rise out of his chicken coop! Naruto sneered, cheerfully waving. Long time no see, ya fried chicken twat. Naruto, you bastard! The man roared in anger, moving to punch him. Naruto moved to the side, with the man completely missing him. He laughed as he summoned Bernhilde and twirled it around his fingers. Oh my, big ol' scary Riser's hopping mad. Good. Naruto giggled, waving her stick of marshmallows around. That's what you get for making a grab for our king. The man named Riser charged at Naruto again, and attempted to punch Naruto's face in. The latter dodged each and every one before pointing the tip of his blade at Riser's throat. Why don't you head back to the underworld before we embarrass you further, you teriyaki bitch? Naruto advised, casually eating a marshmallow from his stick. Just like you, Naruto. Always causing a ruckus where it doesn't belong. Riser growled, glaring daggers at him. Last I checked, this isn't your club room, and you don't live here in the human world. Which is fine, since we have enough assholes here already. Naruto countered with a fanged grin. Naruto-kun, Naruto-chan, that's enough. Stand down. Rias commanded, walking out from behind her desk. Please. Oh, Rias-chan. Don't tell me you're going to allow this prick to have this way with you. Naruto asked with a side eye. While I find your prank amusing, let me handle this. I won't let him walk all over me. Rias declared with a serious look. Naruto snorted and rolled her eyes. If you say so. S'mores anyone? Just as childish as ever. Riser growled, slightly relieved that Naruto's sword was away from him. Says the guy who whined and complained to the elders to force the house of Gremory's hand. Naruto said offhandedly while serving Kaneko. Our president has a million better things to do than to deal with you. Fortunately for her, I'm one of them. Riser said, walking over to Rias and putting her arm around her. Now Rias, come along so I can show you where we'll hold the ceremony. The date's also been decided. Sooner the better, I say. Get the hell off me, Riser! Rias snapped, pushing his arm off her. Oh? Riser looked amused, until Naruto's sword was at his throat again. Please refrain from putting your hands on my king. The amusement from Naruto was gone. In its place was tranquil fury, shadows on his upper face and his eyes cold as ice. And right behind Riser was Naruto, who had her sunfire gauntlet ready to knock Riser's head off, with both twins looking ready to murder. Whoa, easily now. I was only joking around. Riser stated sarcastically, putting his hands up. Hey you! Stop being so rude to the president. I mean, what kind of guy treats a lady like that? Issei suddenly snapped, feeling the need to step in. The kind of harem king you're inspiring to be, kid. Naruto mumbled with marshmallows in her mouth. And who is this? Riser asked, raising an eyebrow. Hinata Issei. I serve President Rias Gremory as her pawn, Issei declared, jabbing a thumb at himself. Riser's interest turned to disinterest. Okay. Naruto, please stand down. Rias commanded them. Last thing we need is a fight to break out in the middle of the day. Rias, you cannot be serious. This fried chicken asshole walked in like he owned the place, and you're not doing shit to stop it. Naruto snapped at her. Rias shook her head. As much as I want to blast that prick to Kingdom Come, we're on school grounds. So please. Oh Rias. You haven't told your servants about me? Or did you just revive this one? Riser asked, gesturing at Issei. Akino, Naruto-kun, and Naruto-chan are the only ones who knew. The rest, there was no need. Rias responded, turning away from him. We only knew today, Naruto corrected her. You knew a lot longer, right Akino-chan? Akino blanched and muttered. Yes. Allow me, Graphia said, calling to attention. This is Riser Phoenix-sama. He is a high-class, pure-blooded devil, and the third son of the venerable House of Phoenix. As well as... Naruto snorted and dismissed his sword. Big birds and bread cousin. You really are trying to pick a fight, Riser growled, his eyebrow twitching while giving his fellow blonde the stink eye. Projecting much? Enough, Rias blurted out. I already told you, I will not marry you, Riser. Issei yelled, pointing at Riser. Well, that's a shock, Kiba said, looking surprised with Kaneko. Why didn't you tell us, Naruto-senpai? Naruto shrugged as he and Naruto sat with Kiba and Issei. Meanwhile, Rias and Riser ended up bickering. Because it wasn't much of a factor, Naruto answered, picking his teeth with a large toothpick he used for spearing marshmallows. Rias-chan was promised freedom in her choice of spouse, thanks to the House of Gremory's high standing. But something obviously happened, and it involves those old coots on the council. If you asked me, they shouldn't have so much power. Kaneko frowned. Aren't they supposed to be advisors to the four Satans like Surzek-sama? Yes, but in times of peace, one can gain power in the shadows, and the advisors have been slowly gathering influence in spades. Naruto explained, and took a bite out of Naruto's s'more. That is, unless Surzex and I and the others aren't doing something, anything, to stop them. But I hope they do, because I'm going to tell those old coots to shove it the next time they lord over us, Databane. How do you know so much about Surzex-sama's troubles? Kaneko asked curiously, purring as Naruto scratched behind her hidden cat ears. Grafia can't hold her liquor, Naruto whispered with a smirk, gesturing towards said silver-haired devil. Kaneko stifled her laughter before trying to compose herself. Still, this is troubling. To think that Rias's fiancé would come out of the blue like this. Kiba muttered, frowning in thought. Maybe that's why with the phoenix immortality and all. What's on your mind, Yuto? Naruto asked with a frown. President Rias. She learned about Issei when the fallen angels were running amok, and the fact that he was possibly holding a powerful sacred gear that they wanted. The reason he must have gotten Issei to the peerage might be because she was counting on him being her trump card against Riser when the time came, Kiba said in realization. Makes sense. Since he was a part of the perverted trio, she had no interest in him. Kaneko added, watching as Rias, Riser, and Grafia explained to Issei and Asia about the devil hierarchy and the connection between the Gremory and Phoenix. She didn't like him or his friends until she learned about the powerful gear. Geez. No wonder she had us all tailing him. She could have just told us. Naruto pouted, looking quite disheartened. It's like she doesn't trust us anymore. We didn't know that's what the president was planning, but it was easy to connect the dots. Kiba added, looking downtrodden. To be honest, considering how she went after him, we take some of the blame. What do you mean by that? Naruto asked, raising an eyebrow. I feel that Rias has been too gentle with us, after the incident with us a few months ago, Kiba said, glancing at the Nikomata. She was trying to push Kaneko and I into getting stronger by tapping into our hidden strengths, but we resisted. My own hatred for the holy sword that ruined my life still burns, and I'm still frightened by the power I share with my sister, which was the same power that drove her mad. Kaneko murmured, snuggling closer to Naruto, who sighed. Hey Nico-chan. If anyone can overcome that power, it's you, he said, and patted Kaneko's head. We believe in you. Same with Yuto, he added, gesturing to the swordsman. Yeah, man. You shouldn't hold on to all that hatred. It's unhealthy, and weakens your overall performance. Naruto piped in. Trust me, we tried it once, and it nearly got us killed. This was before the twins joined Rias Peerage. They were in the human world, killing stray demons until the Mugen Tenshin interfered. Angered at their past actions, the twins attacked them out of spite, but were outmatched by the more experienced fighters. The twins managed to escape back to the underworld, licking their wounds. It was a lesson to be learned that day. Petty, aimless revenge achieves nothing. Finding and punishing the ones truly responsible, however, is the only way to get true justice. We'll take your word for it, Kiba grumbled, rubbing the way of his head. That a boy, Databang. Naruto giggled, hitting him lightly on the shoulder. The moment of encouragement was suddenly gone when a wave of hot air saturated the clubroom. Naruto, Naruko, and Kaneko jumped off the sofa in response, with the twins zeroing in on the source. The winds and flames of this world are foul. To a mighty devil such as myself who commands them, it is intolerable. Riser growled, his wings of flames bursting from his back. I will take you back to the underworld, my dear Rias, even if I have to incinerate every last one of your servants. Did he just threaten us? Naruko asked eerily, summoning her Sunfire Gauntlet again. Again? Yes. He did. Naruto replied, his killer grin showing all sharp teeth. His sword materialized in his hand as he turned towards the Phoenix Devil. In response, a red and black aura flared forth from Rias, matching Riser's own, her hand twisted in a snarl. Just try it, Riser Phoenix. Immortality or not, I will bring you to ruin if you lay a hand on my family. You can count us in on that action. Naruto snapped as he and Naruko walked to her side. I told you two to stand down. Rias commanded them angrily. When you're letting him threaten us? Not happening. Naruko snapped back. I'm going to send him on a one-way trip to the void, and you can't stop me. My lady, Naruto-san, Naruko-san, Riser-sama. Please calm yourselves. I will not be able to stand by idly should any of you take this further. Grafia commanded them, leveling an icy glare at them that could freeze death itself. And for the sake of Surzex-sama's honor, I will not hold back. Rias and Riser took a step back in fright at the sheer intensity in Grafia's icy glaze. The twins, however, were unfazed. As for you two, I know you two aren't afraid of being frozen alive, and Rias-sama has a hard time reining you two in. Therefore, Grafia summoned a phone into her hand. I have Venelana-sama on speed dial. Unarm yourselves this instant, or face her wrath in my stead. The twins looked at each other before simultaneously sighing. As one, they once again dismissed their weapons. They feared no one, but Venelana? Their mother's childhood friend. She scares them. Well, if the order came from the underworld's ultimate queen herself, I'm in no position to refuse. Riser said wryly, canceling out his deadly aura. I'm proud of my own heritage and peerage, but even we couldn't stand up to Lord Lucifer's lineup of monsters. Much as Venelana-sama's own unreasonable beasts. Ugh, we're going to need to replace some of the furniture in here, Naruto muttered, noting the burn marks on the sofa and tables. Fuck. We anticipated a deterioration of this scenario. It was meant to be a final discussion on this matter, but alas, Grafia said with a dirty look towards Riser. Therefore, in light of the current situation, we have prepared a final resort. A final resort? Rias parroted with a raised eyebrow. If you're adamant about defying the arranged marriage, then you're allowed to settle the matter in a rating game. Rias was taken aback. What? Akino looked surprised. What? Riser looked interested. Really now? Naruto and Naruto were baffled. What? I'm a bit young for that, you know. Rias noted to Grafia and grumbled, holding her head. Geez, will my parents ever stop interfering with my life? Rating game? What's that? Asia asked, looking between Issei and Rias. Issei hummed. I think the student council president mentioned something like that. A contest that pits teams of servants against each other, Kiba said before launching into an explanation. You see, it's a game that resembles chess, where high-class devils fight alongside their servants. That's why our powers are likened to chess pieces, and why we're called evil pieces, Akino added. Oh ha ha ha! That sounds really swell, Rias-chan, but before you make a decision, can we talk to you for a second please? Naruto asked in one breath through gritted teeth, discreetly beckoning her towards a corner of the room. Listen, Naruto-kun, I know you're going to go over the pros and cons with me, but we'll never get another chance like this. So I consent, she announced, looking her attention back towards Riser. We'll settle this in a rating game. You gotta be kidding me, Naruto muttered, looking deflated. Well, that was quick. I see you're looking forward to sending your servants towards their doom, Riser noted with an arrogant grin. I've played a lot of games and won just as many. Still so eager to fight me? Of course we are, because we're gonna blow you away, Rias declared, not backing down. You'll do best not to underestimate me or my precious servants. Grafia nodded. As you have both consented, the matter is settled. As a mediator between the houses of Gremory and Phoenix, operations of this unofficial rating game will be handled by me. I'll inform the houses. Ugh, goddammit! Naruto hissed under her breath, now knowing how Tifa, one of her best friends, feels when bullshit happens around her. Rias had rushed into this ultimatum too quickly. No doubt that Rias wanted out of this marriage contract, and will do anything to do it. Still, it would have been nice for the red-headed king to call an audible with her peerage before getting them roped into the situation. Humph! Riser scoffed, waving her off before sweeping his eyes around the room. Rias, just to be sure, are these the only servants you have on hand? He asked, pointing and counting Naruto, Naruto, Akino, Kaneko, Kiba, Issei, and Asia. Surely you have more than 7? None of your business. They're more than enough to deal with you and your servants, Rias boasted, glancing at her servants before turning her attention back to Riser. Whoever they may be. How could she be gloating right now? A baffled Naruto stared at her. King, one of our most powerful allies is locked up downstairs, and we're at a disadvantage here in terms of experience. Fuck. Riser blinked, before letting out a boisterous laugh. Oh ho ho. Overconfident are we, my future wife? That's good, but it is ultimately misplaced. Only that, queen, knight, and rook of yours can even begin to match up to my servants. Behold. He snapped his fingers. What a villainous cliché, Naruto muttered, rolling his eyes as Akino giggled. A magic circle with the phoenix crest appeared in an open space in the clubroom. Flame roared from the circle, with numerous silhouettes phasing into existence. When the fire died down. They're all girls? Issei exclaimed, wide-eyed. Of fucking course. Who the hell but vintage Riser? Naruto groaned with a facepalm. Not only that. That's right, These are my servants, Rias declared, walking over to his peerage. 15 pieces. Including myself, I have a full set of pieces. From cat girls, swordswomen, martial artists, maids, and twin girls with chainsaws, Rias Peerage had a healthy assortment of girls. One couldn't imagine them on the battlefield, but considering the fact that they were chosen by Rias, no doubt they could handle themselves in a fight. 15 beauties? Unbelievable! Issei exclaimed, his eyes glistening with tears. What a bastard! What a true man! Oh my fucking god, Naruto mumbled, cringing on the spot with her brother, as Issei started to cry. Rias my dear, why is that servant of yours crying? Rias asked, pointing at the wielder of the boosted gear. It's creeping me out, him staring at me like that. Well, his dream is to become a harem king, and I believe seeing your peerage moved him to tears, Rias admitted, holding her head in exasperation. How creepy. One of the girls, the one with the blonde pigtails and wearing a pink dress, muttered. Iwiwu. One of the chainsaw twins said. Rias-sama, that kid is gross. Her twin agreed. Naruto raised an eyebrow and scoffed. Oh, hi kettle. Meat pot. And what is that supposed to mean? Rias snapped at him. Other than the fact that those twins look like elementary school kids and for hypocritically calling Haidu a kid, not much. Naruto drawled before sweeping his eyes over Rias Peerage, grinning. But be honest here, girls. How many of you got picked for your looks? Most of the girls looked offended by the accusation. However, some of them, like the cat girls and maid, raised their hands sheepishly. Oh come on, really girls? Rias protested at the admissions, even though they're true. He then rounded on Naruto, looking embarrassed. You think you can do better? Naruto glanced at a snorting Naruto and shrugged. In a few years, yes? Oh yeah, buddy? You'll have to get by me, Issei declared, raising his fist towards the blonde. There's only one man who will become the true harem king, and that me. Go away, please. Naruto groaned, leaning away from him. God damn it, I'm on a roll here, man. Seems that you already have your hands full. No matter. You could have a harem peerage like mine and you still couldn't touch me, Rias boasted, putting his arms around the petite mint-green-haired twins. Neither of you. The phoenix then caressed his twin girls and kissed them deeply and lewdly. Kaneko silently gagged while the blonde twins cringed. Issei gritted his teeth in jealousy, while Rias could only look away in disgust. Oh, how passionate you are, fried chicken. Kissing two obviously underage-looking girls, big fucking yikes. Naruto deadpanned, waving around his cell phone. Take a seat, please. I'm calling Chris Hansen. Rias stopped his kisses and glared at Naruto. And who the hell is Chris Hansen? A human with a TV show that specializes in hunting down child predators, but that's besides the point. Naruto replied, now playfully grabbing her brother's phone. If proving yourself a creep involves trying to make us jealous, then you're failing. Your attempt at displaying your moniness is no big deal, just like you yourself are not. You're treading on dangerous ground, Uzumaki Naruto. We like to live dangerously, just like you with the grilled chicken. She countered with a trollish grin. Take that back, shrieked the girl with twin tails styled in drills. I'm Revel Phoenix. Get it right. Whatever, you grilled chicken bitch. Naruto drawled back, making her steam. Wait, Phoenix? Issei gaped, looking from Rias to Revel. Kaneko nodded. Yeah, she's his little sister. Probably here as a formality. You lucky bastard. Issei wailed, shaking his fist at Rias, who was still glaring at the twins for their insults. Indeed, Naruto added with a smirk. The fact that she's here makes us question whether her brother's a pure blood or not. You dare challenge my legitimacy? Rias snapped as he got in Naruto's face. Wait, stop, Rias tried to say, but her queen held her back. Oh dear. Akino giggled, knowing full well what her childhood friend was going for. In fact, I do, buddy. I won't deny that my sister and I have an attraction to each other, and frankly, I don't give a crap about what others think about it. It's one of the perks to not being a pure-blood elite like you and Revel, Naruto said, not backing down as Naruto playfully latched onto his arm. You, on the other hand, you like to show off your pure-blood pride and shit. Tell me, is the Devil Society okay with you two banging? What? Revel shrieked, her face turning scarlet. Why you? Rias roared, his aura flaring. Oh, so you do care that much? I thought you were all bark and no bite. Surely a passionate, pure blood like yourself would enjoy shitting on human norms and the like. You know, Like going beyond the barriers of norms and showing Revelchan a good time like you do your peerage? Naruto asked, trollishly smiling with sharp, glinting teeth. Speak of, should we still call Chris Hansen, ya fucking Lilicon? I'll burn you both to cinders, Riser threatened, conjuring a large ball of fire. Not if I have anything to say about it. Issei summoned his boosted gear, charging in between them to get to Riser. I'll take you down with my boosted gear right here and now. Issei, don't! Rias shouted in vain. Boost! The sacred gear announced, its green jewel glowing. Riser ched in annoyance and snapped his fingers. Mira! Yes, Riser-sama. A young girl wielding a staff responded. She had her blue hair tied into 4 short ponytails, wearing a white haori and red obi under a red happy coat. She charged forward, intercepting the aggravated Issei. The latter hesitated due to his opponent being a girl, giving the said girl the opportunity to land a direct blow to his stomach, knocking him back into a wall and nearly out. Issei-san! Asia cried out, coming to his aid. To be taken out by my weakest pawn. And he's supposed to be the Red Dragon Emperor? So weak. Then again, he dismissed his fireball and had patted his pawn, eyeing the boy with disdain as the bishop healed him. He's only a low-class pawn. Maybe you should save that for the raiding game, yes? A raiding game, I should add, that has your lovely experienced team pitted against our inexperienced asses. The latter, by the way, also lacking in training and prep time? Because that sounds awfully fair and biased. Naruto stated, matching Naruto's own smile. You do have a fair point, Naruto. Grafia suddenly spoke up, and turned her attention to a frantic Rias. Wait, we don't need a handicap. Rias protested in indignation. After what we all just saw, obviously you do. Grafia countered, narrowing her eyes. A raiding games is much different than hunting down strays and the likes. Therefore, your raiding game between you and Riser will take place in 14 days' time. That should give you and your servants enough time to prepare for the upcoming battle. I hope you can agree, seeing what could happen if you all fought now. She gestured towards Issei, who was still down and partly out from Myra's attack. Rias gritted her teeth in defiance, until Akino put a gentle hand on her shoulder. Seeing Akino's look of understanding and the Naru twins' nods had her sigh in defeat. While it would be amusing to see if he can use that gauntlet, the boy's only a means to an end, Riser thought, discreetly eyeing the twins, specifically Naruto, before resting his eyes on Rias, now serious. Rias, I'm flattered that you want to do this right now, but I say that you take Grafia's advice. Assuming you can win a raiding game with passion is the height of naivete. A king's true value is reflected in the ability to empower their servants. I've seen countless genuines like yourself go down because they couldn't lead properly. As Grafia said, a raiding game is nothing like a battle with stray devils. I understand, Rias muttered, looking away and gritting her teeth. Good. Riser said, turning away before addressing Naruto. And you? I shouldn't have let you get under my skin with your antics. I'll make sure to punish you for your insolence in our raiding game. No one humiliates Riser Phoenix and gets away with it. Naruto rolled his eyes. Whatever. Just piss off already. I'm sure you'll need plenty of ice for that wounded pride of yours or some Phoenix down or whatever that crap your house makes. They're Phoenix tears, you dash. Riser snapped, before collecting himself. 14 days. I can wait. See you all soon, especially you, my dear Rias. With that, Riser departed with his peerage in a roar of fire. Well, that could have gone better, Akino said brightly, trying to brighten the mood. Naruto cracked his neck. I'm going to kill him, Databao. Oh yeah, get in line, Databane. Naruto snarked, handing him back his phone. Well, we're in for the long haul. Kiba sighed, looking over to see Asia helping Issei up. I really think we should get Gasper for this. Rias shook her head. We can't. Her power is still not stabilized to the point that she can control it. We'll have to do what we can with just all of us. Well then, I wish you all the best of luck. If it's you all, Grafia looked from Rias and Akino to Naruto and Naruto. I'm sure you can pull off an upset win. Until then. Grafia departed, leaving the members of Rias Peerage to themselves. Naruto-senpai, Naruto-senpai. Kaneko suddenly spoke up. Thank you? For what? Naruto asked while Naruto tilted her head. For teaching me how to roast a phoenix, the cat girl said with a smile. The club room was filled with laughter after that. In order to prepare for the raiding games, Rias gathered her peerage the next day and took them to a cottage her family owns, which was located in an uninhabited mountain. While everyone began their own training regimens, they were also ordered to take time to train Issei and Asia, who were the weakest of the bunch. Still, the desire to grow stronger was there as well, so there was some hope. However, despite training with Kiba in sword fighting, with Akino on magic, and finally, with Kaneko on melee combat, Issei failed miserably, while Asia showed some talent in magic. Both fledglings were also trained by Naruto and Naruto in strength, stamina, and mental conditioning. While they took it easily on Asia for obvious reasons, they put Issei through the ringer. Partly on Rias's orders, with the other half because they enjoying it. Legends say that it had something to do with Issei being one of Naruto's many banes of existence, as he and his crew had peeped on her in the girls' locker room multiple times. Then there was the Rias thing too with Naruto. As for the twins, they were tracked down by the Mugen Tenshin Ninja Clan and Japan Sect Hero Clan. It was obvious that someone in the higher-ups of the Devil Hierarchy sold them out, since there were only a few who knew about the raiding game, and where Rias Peerage would train. Naruto and Naruto, along with their familiars, made them retreat multiple times, albeit with a few bumps and bruises. They were greeted with concern from Kaneko, Kiba, and even Asia, but not from Rias and Akino, who thought they were training too hard. The twins were irked at that, with Naruto going to talk with Rias in the evening, only to find her talking with Issei instead while sitting close to him. What hurt more was them talking in the secret place special only to him, Naruto, Rias, and Akino. Regardless, they trucked on until Issei and Asia were at passable levels to stand alongside the others. Asia was able to increase her magic reserves, healing rate, and a bit of stamina. As for Issei, his own strength and stamina increased greatly, as well as his mastery over his sacred gear. During a spar with Kiba, Issei showed the fruits of his training, being able to withstand multiple boosts, and use a beam attack called Dragon Shot. Ria's training regimen had reached her desired conclusion, to make Issei and Asia stronger for the battle ahead. Occult Research Room, 2 weeks later, 11:49 p.m. Rias and her peerage were awaiting the start of the raiding game. An armored Naruto and Naruto did an inventory check on their supplies and gadgets. Kiba put on some light armor while Kaneko read a book. Rias and Akino were drinking tea. And Issei and Kiba were sitting on the couch. Rias-chan, Naruto suddenly said as he appraised Brynhilde. You sure you're okay with this? I know we're stronger than before, but I feel that we're kinda in over our heads. Too late to back out now, Naruto-kun, Rias replied after a sip of her tea. But after what we've all been through in 2 weeks, I'm confident that we can win. All right. We'll follow your lead then, Naruto said, slightly grimacing. He and the others, Naruto, Kiba, and Kaneko, were still bothered by Rias not giving their input and instantly dragged them into this mess. Don't worry, Naruto-chan. Once we kick Riser and his harem to the curb, we'll celebrate President Rias's victory. And Riser will have to find another girl that meets his taste for pure bloods. Akino added with her signature giggle. Right. Naruto drawled after a pause. Hey President. Issei spoke up. I remember when you revived Asia, you mentioned that you were using your last bishop piece. So where's your other bishop? Unfortunately, my other bishop is indisposed. I'll tell you about them some other time, Rias replied, setting her tea down. Damn it, Gasper-chan, Naruto thought and growled. Gasper, the scared little time-stopping damper, was still deathly afraid of going outside, and was currently failing her mistress in the most important battle of her life. A silver magic circle suddenly appeared on the floor, and Grafia appeared. I see that you're all prepared. Good. The game will begin in 10 minutes. I also thought I should inform you that this unofficial game will be broadcasted to the 2 houses and the councils. Even Lord Lucifer and his fellow Satan shall be watching as well. Be sure not to forget. Naruto whistled. Damn, quite the VIP assembled databao. Even my Oni-sama, huh? Rias mumbled, looking depressed. Geez. It's a private game, so that the public won't know, Grafia told her. Remember, as both you and Riser are heirs to your respective houses, this concerns them. In addition, the student council will be managing the broadcast, and Sona-sama wishes you luck. Rias sighed and smiled wistfully. Sona too, huh? The rest of the minutes dwindle away, as Issei and Asia are taught about the 4 Satans, with them learning that Rias' older brother, Surzex, was one of the Satans as well. Surzex being Lucifer meant he no longer had the Gremory name, which made his little sister, Rias, heir to the House of Gremory. A couple minutes before the game, Grafia spoke privately to the twins. Rias-sama is still looking down. Does this mean that she still hasn't sensed your ascensions? Grafia asked, raising an eyebrow. We wish. Naruto uttered with sarcasm. I've been wondering why Zio-Taozen and Veneo-Kaisen even agreed to this. It's because we're high-class devils now. Naruto grumbled and face-bombed. Ah shit, Riser must know too, Databeo. For her to tumble and be easily distracted. I knew it was too early for Rias-sama to get her pieces. Even if she passed the high-class devil exam. Grafia thought with a frown. Doesn't matter. The result will be the same, regardless of us being high-class, mid-class or low-class. We're all kicking his ass. Naruto assured him. Head true. And I'm not worried that much, Naruto said, discreetly eyeing his fellow peerage mates. It's the fried chicken teriyaki after all. We're going to win. Grafia smiled at their confidence, and turned to the others. It's almost time. Please proceed to the magic circle. Rias, Akino, Naruto, Naruko, Kaneko, Kiba, Issei, and Asia entered the designated magic circle. In a moment you will all be sent to an alternate plane that will serve as your battlefield. Everything in the space is entirely expendable, so fight to your heart's content. Grafia noted, with Naruto and Naruko looking as if Christmas came early, making Issei shiver at their bloodthirsty smiles. In addition, once you're there, you cannot leave until the game is over. As the appointed referee of this match by Lord Lucifer himself, I bid you all good luck. Rias nodded. Let's do this. The magic circle teleported the group to the field. When they arrived, they all found themselves in a familiar setting. The battlefield, midnight. The battleground ended up being a replica of Ko Academy, much to everyone's surprise except a few. Greetings, competitors. I am Grafia Lucifuge, appointed judge for the raiding game by the houses of Gremory and Phoenix. For the battlefield, we have prepared a replica of Rias-sama's school, Ko Academy. In regards to each team's base, the teleportation destination of each team is its base. Rias-sama's main base is the Occult Research Club in the old school building. Riser-sama's main base is the principal's office in the new school building. Pawns, aiming for promotion, please proceed to the perimeter of the enemy base. The match ends at dawn in the human world. Please stand by. Looks like you were right on the nose, Naruto, Kiba said, grinning at him. They really did use Ko Academy as a replica. For real? Issei gaped, looking outside, where the sky was neon blue-green. Naruto just shrugged. It may be another handicap that benefits us, but it's also a way to ease us into future raiding games. Which means that the battle plan we made using our school as a model will not go to waste, Rias said confidently as Akino handled her something. You mean when we were playing Warriors Orochi during our off time? Naruko asked dryly. Yeah, that too, Naruto and Rias said sheepishly, before laughing with the others. What are these? Asia said after Akino handed her a small glowing red orb. Transceivers. This is how we'll communicate on the battlefield, Rias said as her own red orb floated into her ear, with the others repeating the same motions. Now then, start the game, Grafia declared as a bell rang. Now let's win. Principal's office. They might be too weak for you, but do not hold back. The only reason we're playing this silly game is to put that crimson-haired princess in her place. But she's just the appetizer. Riser grinned and shot his arm out towards his peerage. Now go! Crush them completely. Yes, Riser-sama. His peerage chorused before moving out. As they left, Ravel looked back at his brother. This isn't even fair, not that it matters. She sighed and shook her head. Rias-san may be a bonus, but this is more about revenge than anything. After discussing the plan, which involves trapping Riser's pieces in different buildings and areas of the replica school grounds, Rias had Naruto and Naruko reinforce the area in case Riser tried to sneak into their territory undetected. Naruko was inside, installing traps and gadgets that would impede the enemy's advance. Naruto was outside, using fuinjutsu and tripwires that would leave a nice little surprise for hostile infiltrators. The twins had a fun time getting inspiration from various media and real-life missions to make their infamous gadgets. Ranging from explosions, flash bangs, needle toxins, concussion blasts, etc., it was perfect for a couple of pranksters like them. Naruto set proximity mines that would produce a thick smokescreen when triggered. Even better, if magic is used to clear it, it would give those who are in the smoke a nasty shock. As he finished up and admired his work, Naruko stomped out of the base, steaming. Don't go back inside, she growled as she summoned Sunfire. What happened this time, sis? He asked, getting a really bad feeling of what it was. Apparently, Rias had broken the Arogaki's power into multiple tiers and sealed them off. His body wasn't a strong enough vessel for all 8 pieces she used when she revived him. she said, rolling her neck in an attempt to calm herself. Understandable. Naruto shrugged, but frowned. But that's not why you're mad, is it? She has to give him a lap pillow to release his inherent power. I see. But it's not like she hasn't given us all that. Rias is like a mother after all. Prolonged, with Asia stewing in jealousy. She added in annoyance. Naruto sighed, and rubbed the back of his head. Let's worry about that later. Dwelling on